Yo, yo, yo. So yeah, if you want to pull that up and then share it, of course. Have you seen it or no?
No, I just I was at work and I saw it just on my page. So, so
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's
yeah,
Veterans Day soon.
Veto. That's right. Yeah,
5 days. It's Veterans Day.
yeah. So this is appropriate. Then this is topical. There we
Yeah, we
go.
should have done it because I think Oh, this is 5 days from now. Oh, so it's next Monday is Veterans Day. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, in the United States, we treat our veterans great.
Well, you
You
would
know, we
know, dude.
we send them to war and then treat them fantastically, and we even have a day for it every year.
That's what you get a day.
Yeah,
That's how
we'll
you
just
know
wait.
that
We'll
they
wait till a few people roll in,
sounds good. That's
and
how you know they
we'll,
give a shit because you get a day for it.
we get a day. We get a day.
That means
I mean,
everything's okay.
I mean, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want them to have a whole month because I mean that would be overdoing it a little bit. I think. But
Veterans Month. Oh my god,
yeah,
dude.
I
Yeah.
mean, but I mean, so I wouldn't want to take away from any other people who have months that
Yeah.
are dedicated to them. So, um, yeah, I mean, but yeah. So I already kind of I have an idea of what this might be,
Uh-huh.
but ah, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be like, hey, this is like my veterans display or something like that. That's what I'm kind of thinking.
Well, we'll see. And like
Yeah.
I mean, he. To be fair, okay. Before we even get started on this, he was in the army, right? I get that. I
Yep.
get that
Mhm.
he was. My definition of a veteran is somebody who's like gone to a combat zone. And I know that sounds really fucking pretentious and shit, but that was always my definition of it, even before my dad did, right?
That's what most people think, yeah, when they think veteran.
Right. But like people who were in the military, I was like, you were in the military.
Hmm.
And
Yep.
that's totally fine. Like I don't give a shit. Like you were in the military, cool. You did your time and then you got the fuck out. But I don't know, like, because it's gotten so like loosely termed. I think like after 9/11 that the people who were in the military from every era just came out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I respect you. You were in the military. I mean, it's cool. Like
Yeah.
it's a tough job. It fucking sucks. It really does. But like
Right.
the term veteran to me means somebody who has served in a combat zone, right?
Yeah.
And
That's gone overseas. Yeah.
like in a combat zone too. It's like because I'm like if you go overseas to Germany and you have fun, for 8 years and you're fucking German broads and you're drinking beer and having fun and then
That's
you
right.
do your shitty job and then you go out and have fun.
Right.
To
Yeah.
me, that's like you were in the military. I respect that. It's
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, I mean, I guess I've never really made a video on this topic because I used to give a shit that it would piss people off or whatever, but I might make an actual video on like my definition and kind of how I think about that
Yeah.
because
Well, if it pisses people off, then that means, it's you're doing
well, it's on
something.
them.
Yeah.
That's on
Yeah.
them too.
Yeah.
It's not
So it's like, it's something that needs to, if you think it's important enough to talk about it.
well, right, and it's something that I just I think if you say okay, well, I'll say it on the video. I'll come up with something. I'll be more articulate and everything. Like I'll kind of plan ahead, but that was just something that just popped into my head, and then it's like I don't disparage anybody who hasn't been in a combat zone. Actually, I fucking envy you.
Right.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but I think that people just want to they need validation constantly, and I understand that. I get that,
Yeah.
but
That
um,
has nothing to do with the service. That's a natural human thing.
it is, and I
Yeah.
think people like after 9/11, because before that it was like, oh, you were in the army or the Marine Corps, whatever branch you just insert branch here.
Right.
And they're like, oh, okay. And then after 9/11, it was like, oh, they're all heroes, and like that kind of that stigma got plastered onto everybody who's ever been in the military whatsoever,
Yep.
and people went with that, and they kind of overcorrected itself, I think.
Well, that's the problem when it comes to anything, dude. Like, it gets like abused to hell. Like, it's like okay, it's okay to talk, to feel this way about something or talk about it a little bit, but then no matter what, it always gets overblown or whatever.
There you go. And it's like, let's just
Yeah.
find a fucking happy medium, okay? If you want to
Yeah.
call yourself a veteran, I don't actually give a shit. But
Yeah.
like Veterans Day to me is about people who were sent to war by the United States government.
Yep.
For whatever reason, it doesn't matter. It's just sent to war.
Right. And as go ahead, dude.
War to me is when there's shots fired, you're in danger. You're in a combat zone. So whether it's Kosovo or Grenada or, Desert Storm, Vietnam, Korea, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, you name it. If you were sent to a combat zone, you got hazardous duty pay.
Mm-hmm.
That's my definition. That doesn't mean it's correct. It's just my personal opinion. But so Veterans Day to me is about just acknowledging that people have done that, and that's it. So,
but as we found out when we had James on here, when we were looking at Dragon Man's Vietnam display, Dragon Man was in the Army in 1969, 70 or something like that. He did not go.
Yeah, somewhere around there during Vietnam. Yeah, I know he never went to Vietnam, but no. Here's the thing: is he was in the Army.
Yeah,
and here's the thing: that's totally fine. He was in the Army. He got drafted. He didn't end up going to Vietnam. My uncle got drafted, and he got lucky because he was smart. And two of my uncles got drafted. The one got drafted. He was actually infantry, and then was so good at running that he ended up competing on the Army athletic teams in Germany.
Oh, nice!
And he was in the 5th ID as well, because I saw his pictures. So the 5th ID went to Vietnam, and they got fucking wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
But he was so good at running that they were like, because he could run literally a 3.5 minute mile.
Damn, dude.
My oldest uncle, he was adopted, but but he got lucky, and he was a Jeep driver. They're like, yeah, we want to preserve you, because you're competing against other branches and you're winning. And so that was cool. And then my other uncle, he became a meteorologist in the Army.
So things that do not involve going out into the shit,
right? Because he straight up
still
told
important.
Me, yeah, he straight up told me last time I saw him was 10 years ago. He straight up told me, he goes, I didn't want to go to Vietnam. Everybody was going to Vietnam, know. And he's like, I didn't want to go, so I chose a job that was different and that I could actually use in the civilian world, which he never did. But but he was smart. But
good for him though for thinking that at the time.
Dude, fuck yeah. And he's like, I don't care if I didn't go to Vietnam. I said, neither do I, because it's good that you didn't.
Yeah, no fucking kidding.
Jesus Christ. But he was both of them were drafted.
Right. It was,
and so it's but here's the thing: is just because someone was drafted doesn't mean they went to Vietnam.
That's true.
You know, so
that's Dragon Man's case.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't care. You were in the Army. Good for you. All right, let's check this stuff out. Oh, so this is 5.5 minutes. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a short thing. All right. Are we ready?
Last museum tour of 2024 is Veterans Day.
And I guess that means that this will be our last Dragon Man review
for the year.
For the year, yeah.
Well, who better to send it off than you and I?
That's true. Yeah, let's do this shit. Let's fuck this pig, as you said.
Yeah.
All right.
Can't hear it, and it's lagging like a son of a bitch.
You can't hear anything?
Pull it up, Jamie. Come on. Yeah, I know. It's
Can't hear nothing, huh?
No, I can't. People in the chat, can you guys hear that? Or could you hear the video when it was playing for a bit?
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to.
I might have to pull it up. Yeah.
Okay. Still nothing, huh?
No.
All right. Well, son of a bitch. All that build up and then.
Well, whatever. I mean, people are still funneling in.
Yeah.
All right. So, let's get back to the start. Let me share my shite. I need more screens. I really do need more monitors. I'm noticing, for what I do, when I'm editing shit and I'm fucking talking to people and sharing. Yeah, I need more screens.
Are you still just doing single setup?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely boomering it up. Oh yeah, for sure. It's just a single screen. Yeah.
Dude, I'm never going back to single screen.
I know, but here's the thing: is I don't want to get addicted to that shit, because I know that it's gonna suck me in. I'm gonna be
you're gonna become one of us. Yeah.
Become one of you.
Yeah. Fuck, is that Donald Pleasance right there? Or Donald Sutherland?
Sutherland, yeah.
Yeah, Donald Sutherland. That's what
God, what a fucking phenomenal actor.
Yeah, he is, dude. I fucking love Donald Sutherland. He's dead. He just died not too long ago.
Yeah, I know. I was actually sad about that one. But dude, he lived a long life. He had a fucking hell of a career.
Yeah, he's great. Was great.
Okie doke. Can you guys see that?
I can see it.
Everyone else can see it. And then here we go.
This will be fun.
Dragoman Helmet.
Can you hear it?
Yep.
Okay, good. We'll restart.
How you doing, guys? Dragoman Helmet in the Colorado Springs Military Museum, and this is the last week it's going to be open.
Really quick, why does everybody from New England talk like they've got fucking Down syndrome? I've noticed that lately. I'm like, what the, like, you know, the kids that never get over their like 3-year-old speak because they had they had a pacifier in their mouth for like too long.
So they sound like they have braces. Yeah.
I can't do my offs or anything like that. Well, I had fucking braces and I could still speak. I don't understand
but I mean,
this shit.
But no, I mean they sound like they just have constant braces. Like they're always gonna have like shit in their mouth or something like that.
Love the brass. We've already seen this room with all the fucking medics and shit. And like the
this
brass
is the DDay room.
They're not even fucking attached.
I mean, you wouldn't know it. Yeah, it's I mean, you wouldn't know it's the DDay room because none of these guys are wearing shit that they'd be wearing on DDay. So I mean, you got the gas
HVTs were there, but this is not conducive to. Yeah, I mean,
those are M43 jackets. All of them are wearing.
Oh no, that's a second pattern HVT. I mean, if we want to get really fucking stupid, that's a second pattern HVT. Sure, but this guy's wearing pinks. It looks like.
Yeah, the two guys, like the guy that's closest to us, though, that's an M43 he's wearing. Look at the pocket.
Yeah, yes, you're correct. Yep.
Yeah.
So, but this guy's wearing second pattern HVTs. So is that guy. So is this guy. Which, yeah, you would have seen that.
Mm-hmm.
But it depended on the unit SOP and all.
Depending which unit it is, yeah.
Yep. So it's not like, oh my god. Anyway, let's just continue.
Yeah.
Okay. Normally we have a Wednesday tour, but this Wednesday, that's tomorrow, is supposed to snow, so we're canceling it. So it'll be Friday, Sunday, and Veterans Day on Monday. And Monday, to top it off, we're going to be renting 50 machine guns to the public. So that's Monday, 10 o'clock. Okay, any questions, give me a call, 719-683-2200. And let me show you a couple of my displays over here. And after Monday, we close the museum for the winter. We cover everything up, and that's the end of that. It gets too cold in here. These are real machine guns. Everything's 100% original. These are real bullets. Everything, about 98% of everything is fully operational.
Dude, here's the thing, really quick.
Yeah.
If you had a fucking Modus and a fucking 1919 A3 and all this shit in there with live ammo, unfucking secured, the ATF would have a field day with you.
Yeah, holy fuck. He just said these are all real bullets. Like, okay, so I'm walking in front of a live machine gun that could go off at any second.
Right. And it's like, dude, like they're not. Just say they're a fucking prop. Like that's probably got this Modus right here on the right. Probably is just a fucking like inert fucking receiver. It's probably just, it doesn't have the plate on it or whatever, or it's just a welded shut. It probably not functional. It's fine to say that in the museum because that's what you should do.
Well, I mean, it looks the exact same as it would. It doesn't need to be functioning, Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's a fucking museum, and if you had all these guns unsecured, all these class 3 guns unsecured, the ATF is going to have a fucking field day with your ass.
Yeah, that what he said means that if you wanted to, like, if let's say what he's saying is true, that means that if you want to, someone could just jump over those bunkers, rack the thing, and just start firing it.
Correct. And that's not good.
Yeah. Completely fine with that. I'm sure all those bullets are drilled if you looked at the casings. And
well, they're probably just dummy rounds, but they don't look like they're drilled. But like, holy shit, man!
I can't tell, but that's what I would. I usually, anytime I'm in like a fucking surplus store and they have like bullet hanging down display, you can see holes drilled through all of them.
Yeah, that's how they like really do it. And there's a second Ranger helmet, of course, because Saving Private Ryan. But
they were there on D-Day, so I mean,
I know they were.
Yeah,
second
so
and fifth.
Yeah. You got the orange rhomboid.
No matter what museum you guys go to in the United States, you're not going to see a better setup than what I set up here. Yeah, look at this.
Go to James Museum.
Well, I mean, James is kind of, I mean, that's kind of sketchy, and it's
Them
not as
Louisiana type, yeah.
informative as just seeing a bunch of shit laying around with no context whatsoever. So I mean, James has got to work on that part, but like,
yeah, he's got to get he has a lot of work to do if he wants his shit to look like this. Yeah.
right. Yeah. So okay. Also, really quick, did we notice this last time in the back? Why the fuck is a NCO wearing a fucking greatcoat on D-Day?
He wouldn't, but I didn't notice that before. But yeah, that's more of a later thing. It's not
The guy on the
yet,
right's
guys.
got a cut down overcoat with pinks on.
Yep.
Out in the field, he's wearing the fucking invasion vest and all that shit,
Yeah,
which they shit canned because they were so shitty.
That cut off that's like Bastogne shit. No, it's the assault vest in the center looks like it's right out of the ATF, at the front.
Oh yeah,
packaging. Yeah. And
it's not even being worn correctly on the mannequin, which is funny as shit.
No, it's not buckled or anything. It's just fucking loose.
Just
and then
on there.
Yeah. I know I didn't notice the greatcoat before, but yeah, that is a
yeah, I did. I don't think I did either. And then the stack of M1s, and then the fucking like active machine gun position with a fucking M2 HB, like with a flash hider, which is, I don't actually know the details of that. I don't know when those came out. I have not seen those in pictures outside of like Korea or like very late World War
No,
II.
I don't see them either. I've seen plenty of photos from Korea of both the M2 and the M1919 with the flash hider on it, but not World War II. And also, dude, like I swear to God, he has more Browning M2s set up in like sandbag positions than would have actually ever been used in the field. I mean,
dude, and here's why. I'm glad you noticed that, because the fucking M2 is a heavy motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a big,
and the
big son of a
tripod
bitch
itself weighs like fucking 60 to 70 pounds. If I remember correctly. I don't know. It was fucking heavy. And
you hardly ever would see that thing like that.
No, that's like, it's usually a mounted weapon. And it's a great mounted weapon because obviously it's still in use. Like I fired them. They're fucking awesome. But as far as like a light infantry, like defensive position like this, like a hasty position,
hell no,
dude. And you also have to fucking headspace and time that son of a bitch each time you fucking set it up.
Right.
Disassemble it while it's in transit and everything like that. I mean, I guess you can carry the whole thing with the barrel and everything in there, but usually you don't. You can. Here's the thing: is you can have an infantry squad carry and assemble this thing. You can do it.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's like a mortar squad basically. And
yeah, I mean it's a lot of work. Go ahead.
It's a lot of fucking work, and for the amount of like fire that you can accurately put, and also the ammo is insanely heavy. Like I don't know. Have you ever held a belt of 50 cal ammo? Like
I have actually. Yeah, I have.
It's fucking heavy, man. Like it's really heavy. Even 100 rounds is just like holy shit. So if you're gonna have a light infantry squad or even a heavy infantry squad carrying that thing, not likely that you're gonna have a lot of them going on.
No, but in this I think I've seen like 5 now that are set up in these like these fucking fucking sandbag things. Yeah,
and it's like no, you're gonna probably have a 1919.
Yeah. I've seen so many photos of the 1919s being used in the field. Never really any photos of the DM2s.
Well, you see more 1917s, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the water cool ones. Yeah.
Yeah, you see those through Korea. And it's like, I don't know. I guarantee you it's not fucking live. I guarantee you it's not live.
He claims it is
That's a little like 75 or I don't know the exact price. We'll just say like over $50,000 machine gun if it's legit.
Right.
It's not just gonna be sitting there in a fucking shitty display like this.
I don't know though, dude. I mean, like, if you notice, a lot of his M1 rifles are just Denics. Like that could just be a rubber, for all we know.
Oh, exactly. It could be a fucking film prop, you know?
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be surprised because I see Denics M1s in his displays all the time.
Right. Yeah. We did that one of the last times we did that. You were like, it's a fucking Denics.
Yeah, it's orange. You can tell.
Exactly.
His displays. Unbelievable. 1,600 uniform mannequins, 2,500 working weapons. I mean, even a sandbag.
No, they're not working weapons. Like, if they are, you're fucking
Dude, look on the on the very far right there, that grease gun. That has to be an airsoft. Look how black it is.
Well, also like the tube goes way far back, but like,
yeah, that's not a real gun.
No. So I just wish like he would say, "Hey, yeah, these are replicas, but they're accurate to like how it would look."
That's
all
what
you
I
just
mean.
fucking say.
If he did that, that's the thing. Like, if he did that, whatever, I probably wouldn't go after him. But yeah, because he does this shit, it's you gotta. I can't help but call him out for it. Like, fuck you.
Right? Yeah. Like, just dude, just get your shit right. And all these like the cast, the fucking Chinese
These
cast
training grenades. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dated 1939 to 45,
Uh-huh.
World War II. If you want to learn about military history, you come on out and
Don't go there.
Take my tour. It starts 10 o'clock.
So there's a 1919.
Yeah,
They also so that's a heavy machine gun position in as far as that configuration. Also, the guys wouldn't be standing behind it, and it would be a little bit lower. You can adjust the tripod, and the M1 carbine,
right,
wouldn't be sitting there like that. And also, like you said, there's a Denix right there.
There's a fucking Denix. Well, yeah, I mean, if they had the time to set up the sandbags like that, they would probably dig this son of a bitch in. They wouldn't just set it on the ground.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. All these stretchers just sitting there in a stack. It's like,
yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's medics with a rifle. Yeah.
With the Denix.
Most of the ETO did not carry weapons. PTO, it's a different story. It's very subjective, but come on.
Yeah. Friday, Sunday, and Monday. What a great time to honor our veterans if you come to the museum on Monday at 10 o'clock. Okay, let me show you a few more things over here.
Got enough
this whole building here right now is 78,000 square feet.
Dude.
What?
This is that statue that was at, if you guys are from the upper Midwest, that was the one that was at Fleet Farm.
I don't know that.
Every Fleet Farm, which is like a local chain that used to sell military surplus stuff, and they're like a basically a Tractor Supply, but they've got more shit. They've got like clothes. They've got like stuff that you need for like, I don't know how to fucking describe Fleet Farm because I haven't been there in a while, but they used to have a military surplus section, right? And above every military surplus section at Fleet Farm was this fucking thing. And it cost, they would sell it to you for like $2,500 or some shit back in the day.
Oh, wow.
It's just a statue. And
this whole building here.
You see the American flag right there?
Yeah, on his shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very ambiguous. But yeah, you got enough little American flags here, buddy?
Yeah. What is all that? So, yeah. So, okay. So that thing right there, that's some I don't know, like styrofoam thing that he bought from a store.
No. It's like fucking metal or like some heavy plastic, I think.
Okay, so painted. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a big thing. Like when I was a kid, so it was like probably early 2000s, they started getting these and they'd put it on like on the top of like a row of shelving, like a big fucking row. So you knew that this is the military surplus section. They would also sell military surplus ammo there back before they got fucking stupid and like sold out, and they sold their company to whatever. But like I used to get fucking 9130s there, like Mosin Nagants for $70, and you could get the Spam cans were there for like $70-$80, and then they had 5.45 there as well, which is awesome for the AK-74. And it was like awesome. They had a fucking cool surplus section, but this fucking statue, the same one, I don't know what company made these. I'd have to like do a deeper dive. But there was a bunch of these fucking things around the country and it was insane.
We don't have Fleet Farm out here.
What?
We don't have Fleet Farm out here.
No. As I said, it's an upper Midwest thing.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Very upper Midwest thing. It's a local chain, but yeah, welcome home, veterans. Okay.
Here's your plastic statue.
Dude, all these M1 shells that he's got on the floor everywhere.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Those can be put to so much better use, but
I know. He has a billion of them.
Also, we're only a minute 40 into this shit, and we're already
great.
Goddamn. Right now, with 78,000 square feet, we got over 5,000 helmets, 2,000 flags, M1 grants. Last count was 136 M1 grants, all fully operational. M1
Grands, not M1 Garand.
Operational M1 Garand.
Fire at will, Commander.
Also, the ones on the left are 1903s, but we won't.
I noticed that, yeah.
Yeah.
So see the bolt right there.
They've all got fucking bayonets and scabbards, and they're all the same. They're the 10-inch ones, like the fucking shitty repros.
Carbeams, all the M1 grants have
Carbeams.
bayonets on them.
Carbeams.
These are all my World War II uniform mannequins.
Yes, because when they're wearing
We
dress
got
uniforms.
92
No,
military
that was not World War II.
uniform.
What do you look at?
These are all my World War II uniform mannequins.
That really looks like Korean Vietnam or like, pickle greens.
Post World War II.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe it's the Browns. Who knows? But the shitload of medals for somebody that was in World War II. You don't see that a lot. You don't see that a lot for World War II vets and Korean vets.
That bling, man. They love to put that bling on them.
90 vehicles you're going to see, and you're going to go through my oldies but goodies room. Every World War II radio, 1939 to.
Okay, so I have no idea about radios, but that looks like a colossal goat fuck. Like,
it just looks
what
like
are we doing here?
It just looks like shit that's thrown out there. It looks like a fucking secondhand store.
Yeah, it looks like you're going into like some old dude's garage, and he's like a ham radio dude.
Yeah,
and he's been like just fucking spurging out for the past 40 years, getting as much radios as he can, because if this one gets compromised, I've got this one. It's like, okay, what are you telling people here?
Yeah.
What are you trying to show besides the fact that you have a bunch of shit?
This is what radios look like, I guess. I mean, what I don't know.
Yeah, well, what model is it? Because I have no idea, and I would like to know what model this is.
Yeah, I'd like to know what they were used for, because there's a lot of different kinds.
Fuck yeah. And it's like, okay, again, like James said many times, so there's little placards, it looks like, and I doubt they're very helpful.
The 45.
Yeah.
Oh, those aren't placards, they're pictures.
No, they're they're photos.
You can see it being used, but again, tell us in a museum setting, tell us what it was used for, how it was used, and what the model number is. Like,
yep.
Okay. Like, even if you don't do the model number, say this one was used in this respect, this was, this would have been blah, 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 and, just good.
I mean, you can't beat my displays over here.
It just looks like an OD green garage sale.
And every year, I'm getting more and more stuff. Okay, over here, every nurse's uniform, 1939 to 45, civil offense.
I don't think it's every nurse's
The medic woman's uniform, the nurses, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines. I got them all.
Okay, that giant flag.
Hey, guys, you come over here.
I don't know about
We got all the World War II fire extinguishers here.
More Vietnam helmets.
This is my mom and dad's memorial. My mom helped with the veterans in the hospitals.
What the fuck?
That's a little creepy.
That's like some Norman Bates shit, dude.
My dad.
I have them preserved right here. They're mummified.
Oh my god, dude. Hey, I haven't seen this before. That's fucking creepy, dude.
That is weird.
Whoa.
Was in the Army Air Corps. Here's my dad's uniform over here. And
I don't think that's your dad's uniform, because most of those got shit canned. But I could be wrong.
Who knows?
Because I mean, that bomber, that flight suit.
Yeah,
it's fucking cool. It's probably original, because I mean, unless they reproduce those, I actually don't know. But he's got okay. So look at all these pictures of his parents.
The shrine to his family.
The shrine, yeah. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Does he
man?
fucking get on his knees and speak in tongue and light candles and shit?
I have no idea. This is fucking weird, dude.
He's like, we'll tell you all about that. Everything in this room here is 1939 to 45.
No, it's not.
If you're a World War II collector, you're going to love my museum. Every shoe, every bayonet, every machete. These guns were brought back from World
War. No.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't want to go over this again.
30-round magazine on the carbines.
With bayonet lugs on the
carbine. Bayonet lugs in the whole thing. Every rifle has a goddamn bayonet. Like that's, I don't know what he's doing with that.
Got Browning A5s. Yes, all of these things were used minus the 30 rounders until late 1945. But like, I mean, it's again, like James said, it's a bunch of cool shit. But it doesn't actually tell a story. It's just like, look at what I have.
Freaking garage pegboard. Yeah.
Right.
World War II. I got them from widows from all around America. All the medic equipment, Lucky Green, Lucky Strike goes towards cigarettes. I mean, you won't see a better collection than this. 80.
Maybe a collection, yeah. That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
There's a
Collection is one thing.
It's not necessarily a good museum, in my opinion.
No, I don't think it's a good museum at all. I don't learn shit from it.
6 show cabinets full. Okay, this is a typical machine gun bunker that would have been set up
God.
anywhere in Europe. These are real guns, real bullets.
No, they can't be, dude. Oh my God. And yeah, I mean, we won't even get into the fucking uniforms and shit, but like,
yeah, I see the fucking the landing flag from like Operation Torch on that guy's
right. Exactly. And he's got like a fucking overcoat on.
Yeah, he's got a great coat that's been cut down.
Let's land in fucking Morocco with an overcoat. That's a good idea. Jesus, Proust. Like,
yeah, see, we got 30 round
emergency warning.
Yeah, 30 round M1 carbine mag. Yeah,
I see them all over the place.
Tripod, for the 1919. Okay, whatever. Bullet random.
Yeah, the water is still in here. 4 cases. That's a live 1919 30-06 machine gun.
Live, huh?
Then why is there a BFA on there?
Is that what's on the?
We got
can you?
That's
tell,
a blank fire adapter. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I can't tell with the I can tell with the carbines and the M1s, but I can't tell with the machine guns.
Yeah, it's a so yeah, it's a blank fire adapter. You're like, that round would not make it through that fucking hole. That's just a little thing to like. It's like a cone thing to like kind of slow it down so you can use blanks.
Right.
And it's just about the gas and everything. But like, yeah, it's a BFA for sure.
So you just get the muzzle flash and that's it. Yeah.
And yeah,
M1 Grant with the grenade launcher on it. An original D-Day map that John's looking at. Over here, we got
John's looking at.
Who the fuck is that?
So he names his mannequins?
Where his mannequin's arm looks like it's been broken. Jesus Christ.
With a torch flag again.
Yeah.
On carbines, we got the M2 50 caliber machine gun. And this is...
Dude, there's no way these are all real 50 cals. These things are so fucking... expensive if they're real.
No,
there's no fucking way.
Either deactivated or rubber props for a lot of them. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, hey, at least he's got the fucking 2-inch helmet nets on there, which actually were very common. But like,
yeah,
I mean,
I think they're the khaki net though, which has been people debate if that ever actually existed.
So, but a lot of the cargo nets were either green or like OD or khaki.
Yeah.
The 2-inch ones. Mm-hmm. But
what the fuck is
God,
that?
he's painting the faces on them. Oh,
what Jesus is what is in the out to the left there? It's a 29th ID guy with the fucking with a landing.
As realistic as you could make it.
Let's see. Let's hopefully get.
On this side, we got the Purple Heart. Holy moly! Oh!
Just got ear raped. What the fuck was that? Is that part of the video?
Yeah, I know what he's trying to do. Oh my. Okay, so this just reached a level of like fuckery that I'm not equipped for. So
is he putting on a show now?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get to that in a second. I haven't seen this, but I know what's about to happen.
Okay.
It's like a sound effect, like a speaker there, and he's also got a Purple Heart wall. That is
with all those uniforms. Yeah,
creepy.
Yeah.
Like I know several people who have Purple Hearts,
and he has their photos with him.
Yeah, and that's, oh my God, that's creepy as shit, dude. Like, okay, let's see what's going on here.
Oh
no!
Hit the ground. Put your hands over your head. We're getting attacked. This is an air raid.
Oh
Hit
my!
The ground.
Are you kidding me?
Hit the ground. The bombers are coming. Hit the ground.
Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ.
man, unbelievable. Well, luckily the Luftwaffe, they missed their bombing target. See at the Colorado Springs Military Museum, we make history come alive. You want to learn about more about military history? You come see me this Friday, Sunday, and Veterans Day on Monday at 10 o'clock. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching.
Oh my fucking God.
What a retard. So he puts on a little show at the end. Oh, we're getting attacked. We're getting attacked.
Dude, that was some of the cringiest, dumbest shit I think I've ever. A fucking multicolored disco ball, digital disco ball.
Yeah. A little fucking rave light show to try and, I guess.
Oh, dude.
Put on a little show. Yeah, that was cringe as fuck. Just imagine being on that tour and already it is what it is, and then that shit happens. Imagine how fucking awkward that would be.
Oh God, where do I begin on that? I don't know. I'm just kind of in like really.
What do you even say? Yeah, like, okay, you're that's where we're at now. That reminds me of when we did the British World War I display and he blew the fucking horn and yelled, "Charge! Over the trench, man! Over the trench!" Like he's putting on this fucking dad joke shit that's so
It's
stupid.
not even, dude, it's not even dad joke. It's just like...
You know what I mean, dude? Cringe.
Yeah, it's a fantasy thing. It's like, it's so fucking based in fantasy. And I mean, okay, so be it. It's his museum, quote unquote, and it's his collection of shit. Wow, dude, like
what a way to end it.
Fuck, dude.
Those are all lights that you get for like a fucking like a real shitty low budget like rave, you know?
Yeah, you just have a little bowl of pills, and then people are drinking, and then it combines, and some people overdose, and some people are just having fun, and
whatever. Some people are fucking, and there's steam in the air, But
dude, that was... I've seen a lot of his videos. That's got to be the fucking cringiest one I've seen so far. Like, what are you... Yeah, like somebody in the chat. A 6-year-old that never grew up.
Yeah, that's what that is, man.
Man, dude, like... Oof. I mean, I'm just trying to process that.
Well, the thing that... Because anytime I see something like that, it's like someone thought this up and thought it was a good enough to actually do it. Like, because there's a lot of things that people think about but don't do them. But you thought this was an idea that was good enough to actually go through with it. That is unbelievable.
Dude, I mean, how fucking mentally ill and like brain rotted do you have to be?
Yeah.
Oh, God, dude.
Xenophobia said leaded gas is one hell of a drug.
And paint chips. Leaded gas and paint chips, man. The boomers, I'm starting to feel more sympathy for them.
Because it's not their fault.
You guys grew up getting fucking sprayed for mosquitoes.
Yep.
You guys, grew up with leaded gas and fucking lead paint chips.
Yep.
It's lead poisoning. That's all it is. It's got to be. Please tell me it's fucking lead poisoning.
There's a documentary about lead poisoning. They're going to show clips from Dragoman.
Because that right there, it's like, it's literally, I don't even know how to fucking start, like, explaining how cringy that is. Like,
I know that's all, because like the funny thing is I've seen people do stupid shit, like performative shit like that, and you just stand there feeling secondhand embarrassment. And it's just like, I mean, imagine if you were there in person to witness that. We had to see it in a video, but
if I was there and he cut the fucking lights and like had a bunch of like loud sound effects going off,
yeah,
there might be a problem. Has he considered that?
Someone who's not doesn't deal with that so well might get a little upset.
Holy fuck, man! Like, I don't know. He's stuck in a fucking loop that he's never going to get out of at this point. Like,
well, yeah, he's got to be pushing 80 at this point. I mean, he's set in his ways. You know,
he's probably in his early 70s. If like we're going by the timeline, he's probably in like his early 70s.
Okay, yeah. Let's say he was like 18, 19 when he went into the army back in the late 60s. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, but my God, dude, like, what are you doing? What are we doing here? Seriously, like,
that's the ultimate. Oh, what are we doing here? Yeah. Our friend Nate in the chat says, "Air Wade." Yes, air raid indeed.
Because they called it an air raid out in the field.
Yeah.
And also, you wouldn't hear the fucking plane coming from 2-3 miles out.
Right.
You would start up like random gunfire in darkness.
Yeah.
And then be shot at, and then have a disco ball that has colored lights in it going off.
Yeah.
Still.
What is that even meant to represent, dude? Like fucking like lights trying to spot airplanes or something. Like, what is he trying to do with that shit?
We'll have to watch it again. I'll pull it up again. Like,
all right, we'll dissect this. We'll dissect this thing
because I was just in shock, dude. Like, that's literally one of the shittiest things I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Yeah, I mean, I know about the stupid shit he says during the things. I didn't know he had performative moments like that. Really,
right? It's like, dude, hey, cut your losses and just fucking go with what you've got. Like, seriously. Oh shit, I gotta hit present. Holy fuck, dude. That was, come on, present.
Only a 5-minute video, and yet there was plenty to talk about.
Oh man, this is one of the this has got up at 2,500. It's more than I get, to be fair, on most of my videos, but
right.
Okay, let's see the comments really quick.
I just posted one.
Love the tour. I've been there twice. Freedom Shoot and the one on 26th of October. Thank you for all you do in making history available to the public. Okay. Snow. Nice. Oh, that's a great boomer mugshot. Nice. How come you don't have any Coast Guard memorabilia? Because
he doesn't even know that exists.
If you look at me, find information, no picture. Okay, another boomer looking for information because they don't know how to do research. 3rd, 5 November 2020. What the fuck? He's the best. Jay, you're fucking awesome. Best regards from Nijmegen. Come on.
There's me.
Dragoman for president? Jesus.
Hey, the election just happened.
Oh, there's your comment.
Yeah.
What a fucking prick.
I can't help it, dude. I mean, he said in the video when we were watching it, he's like, you never see anything better than mine. It's like, oh, really? I've been to a lot of museums, dude. I've seen plenty better than yours.
If you die, where is the stuff, or where does her stuff go to? He has 2 daughters, and they're well armed. No, oh my God.
What? Yeah, I get what he means by that.
Dude, like,
doing.
What in the fuck? Okay, so let's try this again. So we've got, okay, Air Wade starts at like,
it's towards, yeah, it's like right at the end there.
It's literally like a fucking shitty like disco rave.
That's what those are, fucking rave lights, dude. Those are meant for a rave.
Holy moly! Oh! Hit the ground, put your hands over your head, we're getting attacked. This is an air raid, air raid, air raid. Hit the ground.
What in the actual fuck?
Hit the ground, the bombers are coming. Hit the ground. If you don't have a helmet, put your hands over your head.
I wish I had more screens so I would overlay like some fucking like EDM or like fucking industrial shit.
Holy moly! Man, unbelievable.
I'm gonna slow down my M1 carbine.
Unbelievable is right, dude. Hope no one with epilepsy visits your museum.
Well, there's that. Yeah. I wonder how Jonesy would have done in that situation.
Oh,
unexpected.
man. Yeah,
you know?
that would have been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to take that into consideration, dude, because those kind of people are going to visit places like this.
Well, Jonesy's been there, but he hasn't done this kind of fucking faggotry that I've seen.
No,
so
he was at
far.
the range. He wasn't at the museum.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. So
Yeah.
my God, like what?
Cut back to him. He's the M1 helmet on with it's been personalized with a Dragon Man fucking tape
in
across
UCP?
the front of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the helmet does not fucking fit him. And it's like, holy shit, dude.
Oh man.
Well, luckily the Luftwaffe, they missed their bombing target. See, at the Colorado Springs Military Museum, we make history come alive.
You do something, but it's not that.
Yes. I mean,
Holy
I don't know
fuck,
what are his fucking patrons like when he does that? Do they just stand there in confusion? Like, what the hell is happening? Like, I mean, how would you react to that?
Let's see this shit show one more time.
Realistic as you could make it. On this side, we got the Purple Heart. Holy moly!
And there they are. There are the lights up there.
Put your hands over your head. We're getting attacked. This is an air raid. Air raid. Air raid. Hit the ground.
Airwave, airwave, airwave.
Airwave.
God, this is so fucking cringe.
Hit the ground. The bombers are coming. Hit the ground. If you don't have a helmet, put your hands over your head.
Does this guy have like a stroke or something? Like,
That's like if I'm there, I'm just like standing
Holy
there
moly.
completely still. Like, what is happening,
Man,
dude?
unbelievable. Well, luckily the Luftwaffe, they missed their bombing.
a Luftwaffe.
I guess that's for the kids, or I'm guessing a lot of kids come to this, so this something for
Holy
the kids.
Fuck, man. Like, this is, I mean, I just had to do that a couple more times. I'm like, what? Did I see that correctly?
No, your eyes don't deceive you, but that is one thing that you do ask numerous times when you watch anything Dragon Man is like, are you fucking serious? I mean, he pronounced Panther Shroud. I mean, he gets shit wrong that no one should get wrong.
Yeah, Heinrich
know.
Himmler.
Heinrich Himmler. I'm like,
Yeah, Heinrich Himmler, yeah.
yeah, like, are you kidding? I'm surprised he didn't mispronounce Hitler's name, but he misspelled it. He misspelled it in his little placard.
Oh,
thing
yeah,
that he
that's
had.
right. Oh, my God, dude. Like, and people pay for this shit.
Yeah, it's impressive how stupid he is.
Man, that's like the fucking icing on the fucking top of the cake that's made of shit. They say it's a chocolate cake, but it's just made of shit.
It's fucking diarrhea icing.
They cover it in marzipan and they put some icing on the sides, and it's a great cake. Trust me, you're gonna pay for it, but it's just
you
shit.
bite into it. You bite into it. You're fucking regretting it.
Yeah, and you're just oh my God, that was. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't ready for that shit. Like, I mean, I've seen again. We've watched a lot of his videos.
Yeah, I was.
Before, but oh my
I was
God.
I was not expecting a little play to be put on at the very end there. Whatever you want to call
man, that's fucking that's rough.
Yeah. That's my biggest thing is that's like I'm just thinking if I'm there, what is my reaction going to be? Because like you and I are watching this for the first time and we're like you said, oh shit, I know what he's doing. I was more like, what the fuck is happening? I don't even know. Is the fucking disco breaking out? What is happening here? Like,
yeah. Oh man, dude, like that. Oh God,
that was bad. That was bad. He never disappoints.
No, it's always a great time. It's like the freaking Owl City and Carly Rae Jepsen song. It's always a good time. It's always a good time.
That's right.
But
freaking Nate is sending me messages because he's listening to us. We told him to get his ass in here, but he's not going to.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah,
so
he's got priorities. But yes, he's listening, and he noticed the 29th ID guy in the very back, and he just sent me a message that says, "What the fuck?" because he's a 29th ID reenactor. So.
Yeah, he knows about that fucking unit, the 116.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
specifically, and yeah. Oh, great. The cats and are abusing the dog. Go lay down,
What?
Cody. Go lay down.
Are the kittens in there?
Yeah, there's. Well, Chester's in here.
Nice.
Soft boy. But
Orange boy.
yeah, we got 3 orange ones, and we've got a calico female, and then a well, I'd say he's black and orange tabby.
Nice.
And he's a polydactyl. He's got like 6 toes.
He's got the 6 toes. Yeah.
He's a chonky son of a bitch. I mean, that cat's gonna be huge.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. You're gonna have one of the big ass cats with the thick ass fur.
Wait till you're his age. He has thousands of things he has to remember, but didn't notice a month ago his giving wrong info. Dragoman's great. A patriot, so be nice. You must be new here.
New, or that's the ultimate sarcasm right there.
Yeah.
To which I salute you. If you're fucking serious, keep coming with the comments. I can't wait to see them.
Yeah. But I mean, here's the thing: is I used to have thousands of things. I've thinned down my collection because there's no point in me having all that shit.
You have a lot of shit.
No, but like I know I can tell you autistically like what everything is that I have.
Yeah.
I can give you the details and all that shit and like be like, yeah, this is the whatever. When it gets past that point, man, it's time to just like kind of chill out and just specialize and focus on what you're good at.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
I've been in that room before, dude. There's stuff coming out of the closet. There was
anymore.
Anyway. Not anymore.
No,
You've thinned it out. Okay.
Oh, I've thinned my collection this year. So because I'm just hoarding shit, you know, and I'm like, I don't need to hoard all this shit, even though I still knew what it was.
Of course.
I'll let somebody else enjoy this that doesn't hoard shit and just wants like 1 or 2 pieces, you know?
Yeah.
No, so I thinned out a bunch of stuff like guns, helmets, camouflage, a lot of rare camouflage and shit, and bayonets.
Yep.
It's like, I mean, yeah, what am I gonna do with it?
Well, I mean, now you're utilizing a lot of good stuff to do the helmet covers and the sewing and all that stuff. So
yeah, it's more fun. Like I don't know. I think I got caught up in that whole like thing like Dragoman's in where you just hoard shit, and you think that you need to hoard shit to survive or something like that, or you can, it's like, well, hoarding stuff is a very like old school way of I think. Honestly, dude, I think the country is stuck in like the World War II and very post World War II, like the 50s years of like the scarcity and just coming out of a depression and gotta have everything and you gotta do this, gotta do that. And you're judged or people think you're judged based on what you own versus like who you are.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not necessarily true. So yeah, it's been actually very liberating getting rid of shit.
That's cool, but like I get it at the same time. Like when you're into something and you know how to get it and you can get it and you can find it or whatever, like say, military history, whatever. Like I understand wanting to consume that stuff. But
no, I do too, but here's the thing is, does it actually make you happy?
No, of course not. And also you don't learn from it like you can when you're just studying history.
Right. And it's also like so with my helmet collection, I love helmets. Okay. That's my number one thing is I fucking love helmets. You know that. And
of course.
And I like firearms as well. They're fun. So helmets and firearms, those are my 2 big things. But I was buying like 2 and 3 of each kind of like helmet or gun in general. Because I was like, it's a scarcity thing. Like you need to fucking buy more, keep buying it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, it's not true. So I've narrowed it down, honestly, in my helmet collection specifically, and not necessarily as much as my gun collection. So whatever, just my helmets.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so I've got my genealogy somewhat figured out through the Chinese DNA test, where they're gonna have my DNA and make a fucking illness based on, whatever. They already have my fucking DNA. I was in the military. They already have my DNA, trust me. And but basically it's French, German, Spanish, English, and Native American is what I got for the most part.
Right.
Oh, Polish and Lithuanian. So what I did is I said, okay, I just want to keep, with a couple exceptions, helmets that are from my heritage, like my ancestors, where they came from way back when.
Yeah, because that shit's connected to you. Yeah.
Yes, and then I also have shit from Iraq, like Iraqi M90 helmets, because that's also relevant to myself.
That's also part of you. Yeah.
It's part of my history.
Yeah.
And then when I did that, it was like, oh shit, well, I still have a fucking awesome collection. You know, it's really cool.
Yep.
I just didn't need all this excess shit.
Yep.
And let's see what
Nathaniel has to say. Did you see what Nate? Yeah, share on the screen what Nate sent us.
Oh God. Well, I can't. Well, whatever. I'll get a fucking copyright strike, but or not a strike, but like whatever.
Are you sure? I don't know if that's an.
Okay. No, I will. Cody, go fucking lay down. He's doing his pacing thing that's driving me fucking nuts.
Mm.
I might have to let him out. He might have to go sing a potty. Let's see. I'll share it. Well, they'll just be like, you need to either cut this part out or whatever. Because I had this happen on my very first YouTube video on this channel. With that same song.
Yeah.
When I was in Iraq and I was doing the rave, because I was like,
you showed me
like high on caffeine for like 3 fucking days, and that was like right before I crashed.
Yeah.
And then still had to function somehow, which was
that was back when you drank caffeine. You don't drink caffeine or coffee.
Well,
anymore.
I drink a little bit of caffeine now, but like my body got kind of shocked to it because it's like so my buddy and I we both got 2 days off at the same time, which has only happened like twice the whole time.
Yeah.
And we were both like stressed out. So my roommate and I and my friend from middle school and shit, we bought a flat of Monsters, right? 24 of them.
God, dude.
And we drank them all in a day and a half, in like 2 or almost 2 days.
Yeah.
And we drank them all, and we were like, we were like on fucking meth.
You would. That's basically what it is, man.
Dude, you drink that much caffeine that quickly, and there's guarana in there, there's taurine, all these like stimulants.
Yep.
So we were up for like 2.5 days straight, and that I could probably I should just show that video after this one.
That crash must have been insane.
Yeah, and then I had to get up in 4 hours and fucking perform my job. Ooh. And so I just kept drinking caffeine. So,
yeah.
And when we got back and we redeployed, I was like, well, I don't need caffeine anymore. We're good. Mm-hmm. Man, caffeine withdrawals really suck. Especially if you're drinking like lethal amounts of it. So, here, let me share this really quick. All right. So this is what Nate, who definitely can't be with us under no circumstances can he be on the stream, sent.
But he can edit this video.
Hit the ground, put your hands on your head, look at the mat. Air raid, hit the ground.
Air raid, Dragon Man's in the house.
Hit the ground, the bombers are coming, hit the ground. If you don't know how to put your hands over your head.
Yep. That's basically it. I mean, that's.
I just imagine I just imagine Dragoman up at the DJ station, just like with the microphone,
spinning fucking, and like fucking it up constantly. Yeah. He's like fucking it up. It's just like skipping and just
it's like hit the ground, hit the ground,
hit the ground, hit the ground. Air Wade. It just. Yeah, I mean,
he's wearing the same clothes and everything. Yeah, I love it.
I'll go back to my first fucking video. Where the hell is it? The oldest. Yeah, this is. I'll show you guys if you haven't seen it. This is my first video on my channel because what happened was I had an old YouTube account, and I actually, before all of that shit, like where there's a bunch of rules came out, my account got banned. Because I was a dumbass teenager and whatever, and it was funny. So I made this new account while we were in Iraq, and this is the first video that I uploaded, and I'm glad I did because I lost most of my shit on a hard drive from Iraq. So I will show you this. This is about 65 hours into a caffeine binge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a serious caffeine binge.
Right.
And we got bored, and our lights were all out in our room, right? So, but this is the video, because since we're going to get copyright.
That's okay.
And this is yours truly in a much thinner and more in shape form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is our room over there.
I remember this from years ago. Nice.
Run out of energy here. Perfect. Keep going.
So fucking stupid.
Oh, to go back to 2009 again. Damn, dude, that was like, what the fuck do we do tonight?
I forgot you could hear my dog tags like jingling.
Yeah,
like, really bad.
Yeah,
because I had them taped, but I had that cross. I still have them. They're actually right in front of me somewhere. But I had that cross on there, and it would like jingle and shit if I was doing stuff like that.
Of course, yeah. Ding, 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 ding. What were those? Just 2 flashlights that you had, or what?
Yeah, it was. I still had the one flashlight, but the other one was my roommate's flashlight, and we put like a red filter on it.
Oh, nice.
And so I was just making fun because there was a kid in basic that did the same thing, like with the angle headlights.
Yeah.
He was like, having a rave, and it was funny as shit. And then, so we were talking about that because we were like, yeah. And then, oh my god, and this one time, oh my god, this happened, and then you were just on fucking math basically. So much caffeine, and and then he was like, dude, we should make a fucking video right now. Do a fucking rave because our lights are out. And I'm like, okay. and so I started just fucking around. He's like, we gotta fucking film this. So he put it on it. I think it was his laptop or some shit. He just hit play and he was recording me on my camera.
Mm-hmm,
That's when I was like, my thumbs are cramping. He's like, keep going. And no, it was a decent 2 days because I didn't have shit to do, and I was just wearing my PT shit. And I was like, yeah, it's fucking fun. But
fucking high as a kite on the caffeine. It's great.
Dude, I was 18 in that fucking video. So
that was 09?
Yep, that was 09. That was like the summer. And then I wish I don't know what the fuck happened. I had an actual proper external hard drive that you could actually throw. It was like a hard drive, a proper one, but I plug it in and use it as an external for my laptop. And I had that bitch, and when I moved in 2012, right after I got out of the military, it disappeared, and I had all of my fucking videos and pictures from the deployment and like my time in the military on there. I've still got like 5% of what I had, like my pictures.
Right.
But I should have uploaded them all to YouTube. Because there's videos of us on the 50 cal range. My buddy and I just sitting there just going just fucking slinging lead.
I fucking envy you, dude.
Why?
In terms of the 50 cal, because that's one of the guns I've never shot before.
Dude, someday we'll be good enough monetarily to like find somebody. I'll show you how to fucking headspace and time that bitch. I'll show you how to work the thing. Yeah. And then we'll time that thing to where it's really fun.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, 'cause I've been around one before, but I've never shot it. So it's like, yeah.
Like usually they shoot pretty slow. You can get them rocking. There's a fine line. And you can get them because I was taught by one of the best 50 cal gunners I've ever fucking met in my life. You can time it to where it's like one click away from like blowing up, but it's spitting out lead pretty quick.
Right,
it's so fucking fun. It's so
everyone I've talked to I've seen interviews with or whoever said they've shot one of those says it's like an orgasmic experience.
It's amazing, dude.
Yeah,
the power in that son of a bitch, especially when you don't have to pay for the ammo.
Yeah,
like, they literally like, so when you go out and qual on those things, or just in country in general, you just get boxes of fucking ammo that's like $3 a round to buy. But you just get boxes of it and you fucking and yeah, but and it's funny because like the ranges that we were on were like fucking 2.5-3 miles long.
Damn.
And those rounds just go and they start dropping at the very end. You're like, holy fuck, man. But the power behind that is just
yeah, because I've told you before that I've been to the range when they were shooting that thing, and they started using tracer ammo, and you can see like they go so far, but then they skip off the ground.
They drop and they
I'm just like,
they burn out.
That is fucking cool,
dude. They're loud. I mean, you've heard them.
Yeah. I have.
When you're behind it doesn't seem as loud because obviously the sound waves are in that direction.
That's
but
true.
Like, no, when you're sitting there and you got that fucking those spades in there, that spade.
Well,
handle,
I had Ear Pro on because we had to, and we were required to. But even, I mean, it's one of those things where you can just feel the power going through your chest.
Concussion. Oh
yeah, it's just like, ooh,
dude. The Ma Deuce is probably, I would say, the best machine gun ever invented thus far.
It's been around for over 100 years, so it makes sense.
They've tried to like replace it and like find other ways to make that thing.
Yeah.
And they failed every time. And it's like, I mean, that thing is so versatile. Pretty much every military that can afford it in the world uses it.
Yeah, tons of countries use it, not just the United States, obviously.
Right. And that machine gun is fucking stellar. Because again, I think we've talked about this before, but like I've shot the Mark 19 as well.
Right.
It was really clunky and awkward to me. Like I just didn't get a good feeling out of it. I know some people swear by it. I know people who fucking love that thing and were like, that thing was my fucking baby. And I get that.
Yeah.
But the Ma Deuce, man, that thing was fucking awesome.
Yeah. The Mark 19 is the grenade launcher, right?
Yeah, it's the automatic grenade launcher, yeah.
Right.
And so and it's funny too, because like just weapons in general, we were talking about this earlier. I was just talking about this with my wife earlier, but like my buddy who was in that video, filming that video, he was so good at being a grenadier. He was one of those guys that I've told you this, but I don't know if I said this on stream before. He could just literally go at any distance, not even look down the sights, just go
and always hit it.
You could thread it through a fucking 1 square foot hole at like 200, 300 yards.
Nice.
And I'm like, how the hell? Because I had to aim. I was like, sitting there on the magazine, like, right. I would hit it and everything like that. Like, it's fine, but like, he was just a natural at it. He wasn't a bad machine gunner either. So
yeah. So that's one thing. The grenade launcher that's like on your rifle. That's one thing that I'm not too familiar with. Do the sights on your M4, like, is it also sighted into the grenade launcher? Like, how do you aim with that thing? That's what.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a sight on the top rail of your M4, right? And it's the armor actually places that on, but I think it's like I forgot how many notches it was down, but it's set a certain distance from your front sight, right? It works better on an M16 because it's a bigger sight radius, but you can use it on an M4, obviously. And so what happens is it's this big ladder sight, right? That you pop it up and you use your front sight and you angle the weapon. I can't hold the weapon on stream, so I'm not doing that, YouTube. We're good.
Of course.
Here's my hands. But you angle up and you look through the ladder. And so say, because it's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
Which is hundreds of yards. And
yeah.
So you angle it up and then you put your front sight in the corresponding like vertical kind of notch that along with the number, and then you should be pretty much on if you can judge your distance too. Like that's the thing is a lot of people just can't judge distance well.
Yeah. But
if you can, like my buddy, he wouldn't even have to look through the sight. He would just go boom.
He just had an eye for it. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a knack for it, definitely. And so yeah, I mean it's fuck, I wish I could fucking hold guns on stream, but I can't. No guns.
Of course, yeah. But now that you mentioned that, because like now that you're saying that, I have seen that before when I look at like an M16 or
Yeah.
M4 or something like that. But that's one thing because I've obviously never ever fired a grenade launcher before. That's what I've wondered when it comes to that. Like, how do they aim that exactly? Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah, you definitely can aim it. But if somebody's a well, they used to have. I don't know if they still do. I know they got the 327s now that are smaller and they can actually be fired. Anyway, I'm getting off track, but like there used to be like an MO or not an MOS, but a job in the infantry where you're issued a M4 or an M16 with an M203 on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And those guys would be really fucking good at it because they would do it so much they knew, because you can see the grenade when it comes out of the barrel.
Right, I know that.
You can see it and you kind of get the gauge for it. I always had to aim.
Right, but for them it's just muscle memory.
It's just they just fucking know. It's like grenadiers in Vietnam that were carrying the M79. Like they most of them didn't have to aim. They just boom.
Yep.
They knew the distance. They could fucking walk it in within 5 yards. And yeah, my buddy was like that, and but it's very angled. If you're going at like more than like 100 or 200 yards, and the HE rounds, they have this safety mechanism in the round itself that I think, Jonesy, you're watching. Is it like 40 yards or 75 yards where it has to spin a certain number of times before it'll actually arm? So if you shoot it a short round, and you hit like a wall or something, it won't go off.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good, actually. Yeah.
And I don't know when that happened. Like, I don't know if they did that in Vietnam. But yeah, there's a certain number of rotations it has to do before it'll actually, and I'm pretty sure it's an impact fuse. Jonesy, you fired them more than I did. Like, I think, because I forgot I don't know the nomenclature of like the rounds themselves and all that shit. I just know HE practice rounds, which are chalk rounds and all that shit. That's all I know about the 40 millimeter. But no, they definitely work, man, because it's literally a fucking grenade. About it's smaller than an M67,
right? But
you can lob it really far.
Yeah, not much
and very
smaller,
accurately.
Though. Yeah,
what?
Not much.
No, it's not much
though,
smaller.
Right?
No, it's about, I'd say 2/3 the size.
Okay.
And
I remember guys using those on the range when I was working for them, and they were like blue ones, so they must the training ones. But I obviously I never was fired them myself. I remember they would shoot them and they would like hit a target, but it wouldn't explode.
No, it's a chalk round. It's the blue rounds you said.
Right? Yeah, they were blue.
Practice rounds are chalk rounds.
Right. Yeah, because you could see them clearly when they were putting them in. They were like a bright blue color.
Yeah, that's the training rounds. And I think no, I shot a couple live rounds on a range one time, but mostly it was just training rounds for me. But the Grenadiers would obviously go out and practice with live rounds, and
of course,
in theater. And it was funny because when we got to Iraq, they're like, where we're at, we don't need Grenadiers, so just turn in this and grab your a regular M4.
Right. Yeah. Like, so you never had to use that when you were out there.
No, and I had a saw before we went to Iraq. I had a saw, and
nice.
Yeah, I was a saw gunner, and then when we got to Iraq, they're like, well, we can't use these where we're at, so here's your M4. I was like, all right, cool, fine. I mean, it's lighter, so it's less shit I had to carry around. But and then although it was fucking weird too, because like a lot of our NCOs, they gave them like the TO and E at our deployment was NCO, like team leaders, specifically E5s, would have an M203. And I'm like, why would you give an NCO more fucking weight to carry? And their logic at that time was, because they can use smoke and signal flares. And they can direct fire. And I'm like, well, it doesn't make any fucking sense. The team leader just goes to the Grenadier and goes, hey, fucking throw around there.
Right.
And so it was just weird for our unit. Like, and I have heard other units having done that like around that time. It just didn't make any sense to me, logically. But yeah, that was the thing. And so when we got to Iraq, they're like, well, just turn in your M4s into the arms room and then you carry M9s. So our team leaders actually carried less shit than we did, which was fun.
Good for them. I'm sure that you weren't resenting them at all. No, but Jonesy Jonesy says here, 25 to 15 yards. It looks like when it comes to that grenade.
But it was, I mean, I used to know the number of rotations that they set, in the TM, of like, there's a number of rotations that the 40 millimeter HE round has to do before it's actually armed. I just can't remember how far it was or how many rotations it was or some shit.
You probably haven't heard it since they told you that.
No, I mean, because I wasn't a grenadier, so I fucking hate grenades. They scare the shit out of me. But like,
you've told me that, yeah.
But I'm glad I wasn't. But I mean, I'm fine with the fucking 240 and a saw. That's fine.
Of course,
I love those. But yeah, it was just interesting, like the weaponry and
yeah.
Speaking
of grenade launch, I have a Vietnam era question. Was there a time, like, did the M79 grenade launcher go out of service, or is that still in service in some cases?
It was, to my knowledge, it was in service through the fucking early 80s, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because they came out with this, they came out with the fucking, I cannot remember the nomenclature. It was basically like the predecessor to the M203. It was an experimental one that went on the bottom of an M16.
Mm-hmm.
And it was same round, same 40 millimeter, all that shit. But it was so that, the grenadier could have a regular rifle instead of just having a sidearm and a grenade launcher, right? So that was their logic. Yeah. But I don't think they were super wide. I know they were like in 71. I've seen a lot of pictures, and they had like this grenade vest and shit, and people would have the A1 with this heat shield on it with the sight on it. And then they'd have their, I actually don't know if the 203 came out during Vietnam. I think it did, but it was very late.
Okay.
But the M79 was used, and then they surplused a bunch of them out to like police departments, and they used like canister shot.
Yeah. For like tear gas and shit like that.
Yeah. And I mean, the M79 was a great weapon. It fucking worked. But
it's one of those things where I only kind of see it in the Vietnam era. So I was wondering if it did it not go past Vietnam? I didn't even know.
I mean, reserve units obviously had grease guns up until fucking the late 90s, early 2000s. But
that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, so I would assume that a lot of reserve units retain the M79, but the M203 replaced that in large numbers, and it was like awesome because you get the heat shield and the tube, and then you've got a fucking rifleman that has grenade launching capabilities.
Of course.
So that changed like at the end of Vietnam, but I don't know how widespread it was.
Right.
I haven't done a lot of research on that, but I've seen pictures and shit. So it would indicate that in about 71 is when you start really seeing a lot of these M16s with these grenade launchers on them.
Right, yeah. And that makes sense about the police thing, because I do see stuff like that from the early 80s when you look at like photos of fucking crazy like riots and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you usually see cops with like SWAT teams with that sort of thing.
Yep.
So that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, you can put 40 millimeter is very versatile. You can put they still, I mean, obviously they still use it, but like because like when I was in Iraq, like we had so many different 40 millimeter rounds. Because I carried a less lethal grenade launcher for a while, and they had the rounds that were about that long that were filled with rubber buckshot, and then they had the foam rounds that you can use. They had CS rounds, tear gas, and then there was a bunch of other ones plus HE practice, but basically with a 40 millimeter you can put fucking anything through that tube, and it's just a giant fucking bore.
Right.
So it's a really versatile thing. That's why they still use them. But
interesting.
Yeah. And but so after Vietnam, like, riot police and shit like that. Because the guy I know who was in Vietnam, who was in Operation Starlift, he was a deputy out in Colorado and in Orange County, California after he got back. He was out of the Marine Corps. And he said they issued their departments M79s.
Oh,
and they would use,
that makes sense.
Yep, they would use a lot of CS, and they would use the rubber buckshot and regular canister shot. So like if you had like if they're doing it like a no-knock warrant back in the day, like in a biker gang compound, which he did.
Yeah.
And they needed firepower. If the biker gangs started shooting at them, they'd just take an M79 and just go wham, and
right, just
a few of them down.
Yeah. So, sure, that was fun. I would love to shoot something like that just to see what the experience is.
They're really fun, but they're really like anticlimactic. Like they don't recoil a lot. Like grenade launchers. I mean, Jonesy, I think you've shot a 203, obviously, but I don't know about an M79, but like the 203, especially on like a rifle, is just tunk. It sounds like a toy. It's like
Right, yeah. I know they're not very loud.
Yeah, they're I mean they're loud, but they're not like they're not like a crack, like a gunshot.
Right, they don't
They're
fucking like.
they're got a thunk.
Right, yeah. Thunk,
And then
yeah.
you hear the impact, and that's fucking loud. But like,
Mhm.
yeah, dude, they're really. It's like literally shooting like I don't even know how to fucking describe it, but it's literally just. Thunk!
Right, and that's it.
And
Yeah.
there's no there's like minimal recoil, even with a live round.
That
And
kind of
it's just-
surprises me though, because that thing has to be kind of heavy to launch that out there. That it's not that heavy, or that's not much recoil to it.
Well, also it's a big bore, so like if you're
That's
pushing,
true, yeah.
if you're pushing a lot of pressure through like say a 10 gauge shotgun, right? A fucking
Mhm.
huge shotgun.
Mhm.
There's still it's a small space that you're pushing a lot of power through, and God, I don't know how to describe it. Like it's really like you would think it would have a lot of recoil and it would be
Yeah,
really fucking loud, but I
Mhm.
think the bore is so like wide that it just. I mean, you shoot it without ear pro, you're gonna get your ears are gonna be ringing. It's loud
Of course,
enough.
yeah. A lot of guns are like that even aren't that loud. You're
It's
gonna get
basically
your ears
about as
ringing.
loud as like 12 gauge target load, like
Okay.
shot.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like a lower pitch because it's bigger. It's like a thunk, but
right.
it's about as loud as that. I don't know. It's fucking weird. Like the Mark 19,
Mhm.
that's not even that loud either. You know, it's like you hear the fucking mechanism when you're behind it. You hear the
Yeah.
mechanism more than you actually
More
hear
than the actual like bang sound.
You
Yeah.
hear, but when you're standing to the side, you hear pop, 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 pop.
Of
Or
course,
thump,
yeah.
thump, thump. So
That's
yeah,
so
it's
funny you
just-
say that.
yeah.
When I shoot my whenever I shoot my SP1, I hear the spring in the stock more than I hear the actual gun going off.
That's same with an M4. Like
Yeah.
if you're saying the side, because we use the 14.5-inch M4s, right? The little you can't
Mhm.
legally own them because they're a short-barreled rifle unless you want to get a Form 1 filled out. But so yeah, but like the military use the 14.5-inch M4s.
Right.
If you're behind it, all you hear is the ka-chink. That's all you hear.
That's it.
You hear a little bit of a pop and you hear a ka-chink.
Yep.
But if you're standing to the side of it, you can feel the
you
concussion because
really
of the fucking
hear it.
short barrel, you know.
Of course, yeah.
And they're
It's
loud
weird
as
how
shit.
it's weird how sound works like that, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you can be behind something like that and it's okay, but you're off to the side, it sounds like 10 times louder.
Yeah, and I had a physics class or a couple physics classes in college, and
Mhm.
I was talking to the professor. He's a fucking awesome dude. Really
Mhm.
good at explaining things to people who are idiots with math and shit like that.
Mhm.
And I was asking him, I'm like, so what's up with sound like that? And like I actually like one of the questions I asked him, and I have to let him out because he's fucking retarded. But like,
Right.
but then we'll come right back to it. But I said, hey, why do bullets? Because I didn't know this. I'm an idiot, right? I said,
Mhm.
why do bullets, when they're shot out of a rifle or a pistol, even arc and then come back down?
Mhm.
And he says, well, are they spinning? And I said, yes. And he goes, okay. Well, how it works, basically, like layman's terms, like he was really good at dumbing shit down.
Right.
Fucking genius. But like, so he goes, the spin on that round, and that's why like a 5.56, because it's moving faster,
Mhm.
tends to arc a little bit more than like other rounds when they're spinning.
Mhm.
Is he goes that spinning the energy out, or it kind of like defeats gravity for a bit because it's spinning
that makes
faster than the
sense.
force of gravity.
Yeah.
And so that's why when they're spinning, they'll go up a little bit and then they'll go down and all that shit. And
Right.
that's where bullet arc comes from. And I was like, holy shit! I was like 28 or 27 when he explained that to me, and I was like, I've never had anybody in the firearms community be able to explain that. And he goes, yeah, that's how it works. And I was like, huh.
That's fucking fascinating.
Yeah. And I'm like, he goes, there's a lot more math to it, of course, but if you want to know about it, I can tell you. And I'm like, I'm already overwhelmed with this class. So
Well, it's funny you say that.
yeah.
I've never thought too much about it, but I have seen, like, when you watch someone shoot a gun, when the camera, or if you're right, like behind someone, you can actually see the path of the bullet. Like, if
Yes.
you're really looking. And I
Mhm.
have seen that where it's like,
it arcs.
It arcs. It's like, holy shit,
Well, that's why, like in the military, we were qualifying on M4s, and M16s are pretty much the same. They're just a little bit shorter barrel, or a longer barrel. But like,
Mhm.
you had to compensate using iron sights. You had to compensate for the arc. So, say at 50 yards, you don't
Yeah.
actually aim at the target at 50 yards. You aim about 6 inches below it in the berm,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll
So
be
it
in its
goes up.
arc, and it'll start its arc there, and it'll hit the target, right? If you aim at
Right.
the target, it's going to go over it. And
Yep.
like at 150 yards, that's the one I always had a problem with, is the 150,
Mhm.
because the arc is, I couldn't figure that out, but I ended up, being able to qualify and all that shit. But like, so at 150, it would be arcing, and then it would be starting to come down.
Uh-huh.
And so you had to aim. I found out you had to aim at the bottom of the target, the full silhouette target,
Right.
and then you'd hit the head. And I was like, okay, that's fine as long as I'm hitting the fucking thing and it counts towards my score. I don't care. But like,
Yeah.
but at 300, that was kind of where the M4 and the M16, it kind of starts evening out with the trajectory
Yeah.
of like the arc. And so at 300, all you do is just put the fucking the front sight post on the center of the target.
Yep.
Boom! As long as your trigger squeeze and all that shit is good, it'll arc and it'll drop right into the center of that
right
target.
into the center, and you get like that happy zone where you're like
There you
lined up
go.
with the rifle. Yeah.
Yep.
That's weird. It's funny. I noticed that with when I was shooting my M4, that I could always I'd have to adjust my sights a little bit to go down a little bit. When my girlfriend had an AR-18 and I started shooting that, it was like fucked up like that. I was shooting at the target and it was just immediately hitting way up. And I'm like, oh, this one needs to be sighted in properly.
Well, here's the thing though, with that is we sighted in at 25 yards, right?
Uh-huh.
And we would sight in our M4s, and I preferred iron sights, but even with the CC or the red dot sight, right?
Yeah.
You'd be aiming at the little black target at 25 yards, but you wanted it to hit like 2 inches or two squares lower.
Yeah.
Because you're compensating again for the arc, because the arc starts at about 25.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're hitting a little bit lower at the 25, the theory was that at 300 yards you would be dead on, right? And then you just have to like aim at different places. Again, a big part of like being infantry and stuff like that is being able to judge distance.
Mm-hmm.
Like you really have to be as good as possible on that. Excuse me. God, burp. To be able to hit your target or call in fire or whatever, you have to be able to do that without. I mean, you can use binoculars and shit like that, but it's better to just be able to do it quickly and go like, oh, it's approximately 200 yards. And so you can just, you go, okay, here's where I need to aim, blah, blah, blah. Optics make that easier, of course, but you still have to be able to judge distance because they don't do it for you. Most optics don't do that for you. It's like, if you know it's 200, then you go, okay, I'm going to use the optic that says 2, and then I'll probably get really close.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, shooting guns is so fucking fun, especially when you're getting out to like distance, like, and you have to know what caliber you're shooting, be able to judge distance. And it's cool at most ranges is they have it already set up for you, so you know that's 100, that's 200, that's whatever the fuck it is. And but you still have to like understand the tool you're using, the firearm.
Yeah, it's something I got to get better at because I'm not a good judge of distance. It's something I have to really get better at. But I mean, you and I, we've shot guns before, but we haven't really done that where you like sit down,
and take your time.
Really take your time. I would really like to get into that.
It's really relaxing. I'll just say that.
Okay.
It's so relaxing, dude. It's like, I mean, I was down with Bravo, one of the guys in my server, you know him, but like I was down at his place earlier this year, and we were out at like a 600-yard range with another person from Patreon. But like, when you can just dial in and just get in the fucking zone and just do mindfulness is what it's called, where it's all about what's going on. It's about the tool, the environment, and you can hit a fucking target at 600 yards consistently and accurately. And it's just like you're in that zone. It's so fucking cool. Like, it's power that people haven't had for a long time, Of
course, yeah. And I'd love to do that. Because I've shot before. I've shot a lot before. I've zeroed in all my guns before and like made sure that I can hit shit when I shoot, but
Mhm.
never before where we're like going really long distances or like trying to like really do math and shit like that. That's what I want to do next.
It's very fun. It's
Yeah.
addicting as shit too, because then you're like, okay, we got approximately a 5-mile-an-hour crosswind going from east to west, blah blah blah. So we got to adjust. Like Henry from Nine Hole Reviews does that shit a lot. He's a really good distance shooter. He's a
Oh,
good
nice.
marksman in general, but like he'll do like I don't know if you've seen any of his videos, but like
I have, yeah.
yeah, he'll take just whatever tool, whatever firearm he wants, and he'll go out and actually do a consistent test of like, this target, 2 rounds on each target.
Right.
And so he's really good at that. And there's certain firearms that he's really good with. And then, every day is different though when he's out on the range, because you got to factor in the environmental shit. Is it
Of
humid?
course.
Is it windy? Is it fucking, is it hot? Is it cold? Is the barrel going to be too hot? Do I need to take more time between shots? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And there's so many things to consider. And he does a really good job at like portraying what distance shooting is, especially
Yeah.
fast distance shooting. Because
Mhm.
he's about kind of like tactical shooting, but just farther away.
Mhm.
And no, he does a great fucking job.
That'd be cool to shoot because yeah, that's where it like gets down to almost like an art form, almost.
It is. You have to be like totally in the fucking zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
It's fucking awesome.
I love to be able to do that. I haven't shot in a while, dude. I've been having too many things going on. I haven't loaded. Last time I went and went shooting was with a girl, and that was what 5 months ago or something. It's been too long.
Yeah, it's perishable too, man. It's like running,
Yeah.
If you don't do it for a couple weeks, man, you start to lose that
Start
shit.
to lose it. Yep. I know. That's when I last like 5 months ago when I went out and shooting again. I'm like, damn, this feels a little foreign to me. This isn't good. But
Well, yeah, but I mean, here's the thing: is like, I let me take the dog out. Let's just take 5.
yeah,
really
let's
quick.
take 5. Let's take.
And we'll
5.
come back and talk about shooting some more because this is fucking
Sounds
awesome.
good.
I love it.
Yep.
So, all right, come on, Cody. Come on. doesn't want anything to do with me. Yeah. So we were talking about oh yeah, because when you were out here, like you shot at my neighbor's place, Dave.
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, and so since you were here, like we've improved that range 100-fold. Like
Really?
we got a skid steer,
Mm.
and we went down into that. Like it's the same spot where we were shooting,
Right.
but like we went down really far and like made a huge fucking berm on the back of it.
Okay.
And
Cool.
and then we've got like it's wider too, and then we've got like wood set up on the side, like ties and shit like that, so it's like spalling and shit like that doesn't get to the house.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really cool. Like he set up a stand that's like 45 yards, but like for rifles, it's really fun to shoot past that. And that, I've got a place to do it at 200, but like, but no, as far as pistols, it's fucking great. And we went to this lake nearby last year, and there's this bridge where they dumped a bunch of fucking like railroad spikes and like the plates and shit like that when they dismantled the railroad. And we just went magnet fishing. So we'd throw magnets into the water, and we pulled out all these steel plates, and we're like, these are awesome. And he's like, I wonder if we could shoot them. I wonder what kind of steel they're made out of. Well, we tested them, and hold on.
Sorry.
Yeah, and so we tested them, and you can shoot pistols at them just fine. Like they are reactive targets, so we hang them up on this like big fucking pipe thing. We shot a rifle at it. We got some splashback from the frag.
Really? Okay.
Oh god, yeah.
You got peppered a little.
Oh yeah, I put a huge gouge in the steel. It's probably like a little bit above mild steel, but it's not like tempered like AR 500, like the shit you shoot targets. You make targets out of. And so it was funny as shit because we were shooting an AR at like we were shooting the M855, like the 62 grain like penetrator rounds, and I was just like, wham! And we're like, fuck! We just got covered in like
oh man,
splashback. And we're like, are you okay? Okay. We always have a medical kit out there with all the shit necessary, but we're like, holy shit! I guess we're not doing that.
Back up a little or something. Jesus.
Well, because it creates like a crater. It creates a big crater in the steel, and then it just goes that direction.
Yep, just splashes back like a fucking like water.
Yeah, we always wear eye pro, ear pro out there, so it was like we were fine, but it hurt. It felt like getting hit with like a bunch of little paintballs,
Yep.
Like,
you get
shit. But there was no bleeding or anything like that. We're just like, okay, no rifles at these.
That's funny, dude. I did want to ask you, when my grandfather died, he had like in his garage chests and shelves, like old 1970s metal shelves of ammo and stuff like that.
Okay.
That when I got his guns, obviously that all came with it. And so I've been going through a lot of it, and this stuff that's kind of interesting. And so I've bought a lot of 223 for my SP1. Yeah, that I've shot and stuff like that. And so is it okay to hold up rounds but not guns? Is rounds okay on the live stream? Questionable.
I don't know. I haven't done it, but
okay. Well, because I have them right here. We don't need to show them. It's okay. But one of the rounds, obviously, like is one of the rounds that I bought from the store. It's just your standard 223. But he had a case of these 223 rounds. They're hollow point, but they're silver. Like the bullets themselves are silver. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just nickel plated. Or no, the bullets themselves or the casing?
The bullets themselves. Not the casing, the bullets. Because
take a pic and send it on the Facebook chat quick.
Yeah, I will.
We'll do
second. That. And because I mean, my SP1 runs just fine with regular ammo, but like so I was like, oh, these are interesting. So I put them through the SP1, and it's basically a bolt action rifle. It will not cycle these things for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Huh.
Yeah. Let me take a picture and send it to you. 1 second.
Yeah, just do that phone. Because. Yeah, but
and they're not in bad shape. They're not corroded or anything. So
I'd be curious to see what. So you said it doesn't cycle at all?
it will sometimes, but most of the times it'll just jam, and I have to like work it with my hand. It'll maybe do like 2 or 3 rounds, but no, they're not reliable at all.
So does it? Okay, so is it just like the bolt? Okay, so is the round the casing still in the chamber, or is it like out? But then it how does the malfunction work?
It'll like stovepipe. The actual like casing will get stuck in the chamber and like halfway out. It's weird. Here, I'm sending you photos right now.
Okay, because it might be overpowered. That's what I'm asking these questions.
Okay.
Because
I'm also here's the box right here that they came in, and it has some info on it.
Okay, so they're hand loads. Okay.
Oh, so you know just by this?
Yeah, the probably hand loads.
Okay.
But
yeah,
I mean,
he died and didn't tell me. He never told me anything about all this stuff. I went into it completely blind, so it's not like I knew what these were.
Yeah, and that's the thing with like hand loads and like reloads and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're literally rolling the fucking dice with these things.
Right.
I mean, I've done it. I do it because I'm an idiot, but oh, those are like just lead hollow points.
Yeah, they're hollow, all right.
Right, but like that's like a lead hollow point, and okay, so 50 grain. Oh man, that's pretty fucking hot for an SP1. So that's like a fucking. Those are rounds that are supposed to be, in my opinion, used in like a bolt action 223.
Okay, all right.
So it's probably too fucking hot for the SP1, and that's why it'll fucking it'll start racking forward before it gets the round extracted. Ejected rather.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, probably a good thing you didn't put a lot of those through there, because 50 grains hollow point, that's like a varmint round, right? And
right, yeah.
like with a bolt action 223.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's a lighter bullet weight than like the standard XM1 or M193, which is 55 grains. But that looks like a straight up lead bullet, right? There's no coating on there. There's no metal coating on there, right?
Yeah, and that's what the regular rounds look like to me. Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of like the fucking, like that, the copper and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So but those are just lead then.
Straight up lead. Yep.
Yeah, don't run those in your SP1.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna be really fucking hot.
Okay.
Okay. So because what you sent me was 3342 feet per second.
Mm-hmm.
That's whizzing. That's fucking fast. Because like on average, like it's like 29-ish, something like that for an average like 5.56 round out of a 20-inch barrel. From what I know, I'm not an expert at all. I'm not a ballistics expert. I'm not claiming to be.
Same here.
But from what I know, it's between 26 and 29 is the average. 3342. That's cooking. That's like you going out to South Dakota with a fucking bolt action rifle and shooting prairie dogs at 600 fucking yards.
Okay.
So
I was wondering if it was like the grain count was something else or whatever, because I mean, obviously I can't tell. They look cosmetically, they look the same except for the actual round itself, except for the bullet. But
right,
the case and everything.
Yeah, so he says like, okay, so cartridge 223, bullet is 50 grains, and then powder is 303. I don't know if that's Hodgdon 303. I don't know what that is. But 25 grains of powder. All right.
Mm-hmm.
3,342 feet per second. Jesus Christ, that's cooking. Here's the thing: it's a lighter weight, faster bullet, right?
Right.
And that's the way that load was created. I don't know what the hell if he's got a 223 bolt action rifle, or if he ran that through an AR or whatnot. But like, it's There's a reason you're having malfunctions. So
yeah, well, these are like also from the 80s, and
no, they're not.
That's
the date's right there.
where I'm looking at it right now.
2nd of April, 01.
Oh shit, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some stuff in his collection that was like old as shit.
No, yeah, I get that, but like, so that, I mean, those are old, but they've been stored properly in that box. So
right, I don't know what he was using them for though, because he doesn't have a bolt action for a 223. Maybe he did back in the day. I don't remember.
Well, if he was running those through the SP1, I mean, it's fucking. That's a hot round for an AR, like a 20-inch AR.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, just don't run them through that, I would say.
No, I stopped after because I'm like, something's wrong with these things, because I was shooting them alongside with the regular 223 that I bought from the store, and that thing never has had a problem until I put these rounds through it. And I'm
like I said, what's happening is that round is so fucking hot that it's getting so much gas up in the gas tube. It's pushing the bolt back, and before it can eject, the bolt's already coming forward because it slams into the back of the buffer tube.
Right.
You know what
I
mean?
Goes slamming forward after that.
It doesn't allow the action to work. I mean, you can get a different gas system for it, but I mean, it's not fucking worth it on an original SP1. So
yeah,
it's like,
I don't know what I'll use them for, but whatever. I'll still keep.
Well,
I have like
they're cool to have. Like if you ever there's a fucking the Savage Axis, or I think it was the Axis. They make a Savage like bolt action rifle that takes AR mags, which is fucking awesome. For varmints and stuff like that. Like it's a game rifle, and
nice.
That would run great in a fucking bolt action at 3340. Man, that's
someday
that's whizzing.
Yeah, maybe someday. Yeah. I mean, I
don't get rid of them. Is what I'm saying. Don't get rid of them.
I have like 2 more boxes of this stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a lot of it.
Yeah, those are dude. If you want to do like hog hunting too, like those would be pretty damn good because they go so goddamn fast and they're lead. Basically, it's like throwing a hand grenade into an animal. Like
just
it's
falls into them. Yeah,
dude, and it's like there's a cavity that it creates with the velocity. It's fucking insane. Yeah. So, but yeah, I wouldn't just target shoot those through your AR.
No, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Kind of disappointing because like I was super stoked when I went through his collection of ammo, and I'm like, dude, there's so much 223 here. Like, I don't have to go buy some. And then I'm like, well, the shit doesn't work.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing you didn't use that much, and it's a good thing because that'll eventually blow your gas tube out if you keep going with shit that's that hot.
I stopped after 1 magazine. That was it.
Yep. Yep. And here's the thing: is I've done stupid shit like with guns, and I'm like, why does this feel weird?
Right. Yeah. You just know. Yeah.
And I ended up I found out that underloading cartridges is just as dangerous as overloading them.
Well, I mean, isn't it? You can get like if you get like a low load, get the round actually stop in the barrel.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you're totally fucked if you continue shooting.
Yes, and but no, that one, it doesn't seem to me like it's underloaded. But like underloading, I fucked up, and my powder measure was off at one point, like for like a week back in like 2014. And I was shooting guns, and I was like, boom, and it was like barely getting out of the barrel, and there was like unburned powder.
Oh, interesting, huh?
And I'm like, what the
fuck?
Like
a residue, like all around.
No, like unburned powder, like flakes.
Huh.
In the action, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Thank Christ none of them exploded, but like, you know, it's like, holy shit, dude. But
hey, you do take your life in your hands when you deal with these things. Sometimes you don't know what's going on.
You're literally, when you shoot a firearm, you've literally got an explosion happening right next to your fucking face. Whether it's a pistol or a fucking rifle. You've got, in a shotgun, you've got an explosion happening. A violent explosion happening right next to your head.
Years ago, I was next to a guy who was he was shooting whistle pigs with a 22, and his rifle, I don't remember what kind of rifle it was, but it only half loaded the round. So when he pulled the trigger, it popped in his face. Yeah,
out of battery detonation, man.
Yep. And he was, even though it was just a 22, it was bad. Like he was fucked up.
Dude, I mean, guns, like any tool, are fucking dangerous. A car is dangerous as fuck.
Yep. Same thing.
And it's like, I mean, I've done really dumb shit and been very fortunate to have not had any catastrophes happen.
Yeah.
But it can. It's like every time I shoot a gun, I understand. Just like every time I step foot in a vehicle,
That's right. Yeah.
I understand there is a possibility that I'm going to get fucking severely injured or killed.
Mm-hmm. Out of your hands.
Like,
and
but you have control over it. You know, you have control over what you have control over. And
Yep.
that's the people that like they're like afraid to shoot old guns. I'm like, they're like, oh, the metal deteriorates. I'm like, no, if it's not been rusted and pitted
Mhm.
and it's relatively taken care of, it takes like tens of thousands of years for metal to just like deteriorate,
to just crumble. Yeah.
right? And it's like it's not in our lifetime, and it's not in, you know, because I've shot guns. I think the oldest one I've shot is, what the fuck was that? It's probably the Martini Henry that I shot. That was well, no, my
Nice.
Beaumont was old too. The Beaumont was 1874. So okay, we'll say the Beaumont and the Martini Henry, right?
Mhm.
They're both black powder, like cartridge rifles, right?
Mhm.
Accurate as fuck. Never had a problem with them. Fun as
Right.
shit.
And
Dude.
it shoots pretty much just like how it would have back then, probably, if it's taken care of.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, exactly. And
Mhm.
because yeah, you got to run water down it to, you know, get the salts out of the fucking bore, and then, you know,
Mhm.
clean it, get all the shit out of there, all the residue. But no, it's like they're fucking. I remember the Martini Henry when I shot that. I was in Tennessee, and it was like 100 yards. I was standing up, and there was like an 8-inch gong at 100 yards, and I just went, wham, ping!
You hear the dong.
Oh,
Yep.
And I was like, that's fucking child's play. And I'm like, this thing's fucking awesome. And
Nice.
I had a Beaumont Battaglia Dutch rifle. That's a black powder cartridge rifle as well. It's got a magazine on it and shit, the 1871, 77. And yeah, I shot that. I had to sell it a while back, but like, I still have one. It's just not, it's in pieces right now. But like, no, that thing, I actually made ammo for it, and went out and shot that thing, and it was just like a rifle. I have a video on my YouTube. We should watch that fucker.
Sure.
I want to show you.
So it was just like you're just shooting any other rifle at that point. It doesn't even feel like an antique.
Well, no, it does feel like an antique. It feels like a black powder, like a musket. It's just a little bit more oomphy. Let me get this. So,
I've never shot. No, I've shot a black powder rifle before. I've never shot like an old school musket before.
It's not a fucking here's how I describe it. It's not a fucking jerk, like a fucking recoil. It's a push back. It's a lot different. Yeah. Let me share this. This is a video. God, this is fucking 8 years ago already. Damn, 2016. Let me share this. So obviously my video quality isn't that great, but like
shows what time period it's from.
Yeah, the 71, 77. This thing, I had to like replace the spring in the.
Welcome back, guys. Today I've got a video that I've kind of been promising for a few months. The weather has improved a little bit. A little windy out today.
You see those rounds though?
Yeah, they're fucking huge. Jesus,
fucking huge.
71
yeah.
This rifle was Revolution cartridge, also known as the 43 Beaumont because of the name. I've got these made from 5090 Sharps brass and loaded with 80 grains of double F black powder and a 405 grain lead cast 457 diameter bullet.
It's like a sex toy, dude.
Fired a couple rounds out of it last winter. We'll see how it does today. Anyways, this particular rifle, and then style, man, they bolt it. It's their stuff shot rifle, really thick, and it's actually two pieces. If you and allows, it's really unique main. So I think that's for volume. This thing,
steel.
In my opinion, they're actually pretty small. Nice patina on it. If that's a reproduction, probably is. Barrel. This thing is like 4 feet. The action. Gun. Pull it to the rear, and the round will be in there, chambered or not. God, you need to slow down the chamber, and it locks. Goes forward, the back. Modern. It's like a multi. This at thing. We're shooting this at 50 yards, like we did last winter, to start out, just to kind of hit the barrel a little bit. So I'll go ahead and load the magazine. That was the cutoff on. Forgot to mention that. This is the magazine cutoff.
Yep.
So when it's back, the magazine's functional, and when you push this little lever forward, it's single shot volley fire mode. So
how many does it hold?
we'll load these And
four, maybe 4, 5.
Got 4. And then I'm going to load the 5th one.
Okay,
in.
yes, it's 4.
Okay, yeah. Nice.
Like this. Okay. So, get the sight set all the way down. We'll see how she does. Got a little jump to her.
That was lighter than what I was expecting.
Yep. Black powder is a lot different than smokeless powder.
Nice.
Notice that big cloud of black powder smoke? That's so satisfying.
Only shot a black powder once in my life. No, twice, I think. Yeah.
Seems like she's hitting low still. And we got one more still. That's a lot of smoke for a bolt action. I think she's shooting low still, but it's grouping fairly well. Maybe once she gets warmed up, it'll be a little better. There's the rounds once they come out. They just had to fire for them, which is why there's black around the neck. Because if you see the cartridge from the die set, it puts a nice bottleneck on it, whereas the actual chamber is more of just a gradual incline. So that's why they're black around it. Second time using these, it shouldn't do that. So we'll go up and check out the target. So that was probably the first one. And then gradually, once the barrel warms up, it starts hitting higher. So there's the last 4. Not bad at 50 yards. We'll keep going with this. Let the old man do it. And move the sights a little better than me. A little bit more kick than with a winter jacket, huh?
Yeah.
It's about like a Martini Henry.
I love that. Just that opaque smoke cloud.
He's also smoking his fucking pipe back when he smoked a pipe. My dad always had a pipe in his fucking mouth.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When you work that bolt, do the rounds pop out, or do you actually have to like pull them out?
It pops
yourself?
up. My dad always tries to like be gentle with these things, and I've said this in a lot of videos. I'm like, just fucking work the bolt.
Yeah, no, I've learned that with bolt guns, like the old bolt guns, like they're meant to be like, work.
What'd you think? Now with a t-shirt on.
A little tougher with a t-shirt.
Yeah. Does that black powder smell good?
It does.
All right, we'll go up and see how you did. Here's the old man's group. He's shooting a little bit high. Got a bullseye.
One in the bullseye.
3 of them were higher, and I'm sure the 5th one went right over the top. Maybe right there where that little singe mark is. But still not a terrible group for a rifle that old, and making handmade ammunition. So now I'm going to try one more time at 50, just to kind of get into the of anything. So one of the goals I have, maybe take down a buffalo with this. I think it would be really interesting to, take down a buffalo with something that was designed around the time that the buffalo was a popular animal for the U.S. to kind of slaughter. But no, I just want to do it traditional style, not muzzle loader.
Yeah,
of course,
I mean that's you got to think of the time
using this
period.
thing.
Yep.
So, all right, 50 yards again. Extractor still works pretty good.
You can hear the fucking round slapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably because that round was
It's fucking 405 grains of lead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that initial like right after the detonation.
Wham.
Yeah.
Yep. God, I miss this rifle.
Yeah, it looks
I don't know
fun.
if I'm
As
hitting a
hell.
little higher than I was last time or what. I'm still man, not trigger animal. So
Will
I
low
just
that
kind of want
time.
to do some bench shooting to show you.
Did I actually do like standing fire for this one? I think, yeah, here it is.
Okay, yeah, I'm curious about this.
Sure, with practice though, this could be a 17th century, and then we'll conclude the video because we're out of ammo. Do some standing fire at 50 yards. Got to show you the recoil of the rifle as I'm standing.
Again, not as powerful as I would think.
It is, but it's a push. It's not a fucking.
It's not just a wham. Yeah.
Those are my two for standing. If I ever load some more up and you guys want another video on this, I'll do it. So now I'm going to switch over the camera, the rifle. The old man's got 3 left in the box. He's going to shoot his target. Pushes you back.
Yep, that's what I was just gonna say. It does push you back.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Oh, all 3 of yours chambered.
Thank God.
Well, it looks like you're on paper. So let's
That fucking thing is awesome.
That looks like so much fun.
Yeah, it but I think that's the oldest one that I've shot, and I think that was 1874. And I think the martini that I shot too was, even though I own a martini, I haven't shot it yet.
Right.
And that's also 1874. So and I've shot replicas of like black powder rifles,
of course, yeah,
muskets and shit. But like, yeah,
I have a shotgun, a double barrel shotgun that's old as dirt. I don't know what year it's from. I haven't looked it up, but it is like, I would never shoot this thing because it feels like it's about to fall apart. I gotta look up what year it is because I want to do some history search on it. I haven't yet, but it is like old as hell. I know my grandpa.
You can always throw it in the fucking Discord, take a bunch of pictures.
I guess I could do that, couldn't I?
Yeah, you could. There's an option there for you. But yeah,
I will do that from now on. But like it's just funny. Like because I got all his guns when he died, and I was going through all of them. This fucking shotgun had electrical tape wrapped around it because that's. I know. I'm like, this is not a good sign. I'm
around the grip or where?
It's around the grip, like the 2 double barrels, and then there's like the foregrip right here.
Yeah.
There's electrical tape wrapped around that.
Well, okay, that's actually probably just the grip, like, that's probably fixable, and people might know where to get parts for that. So yeah, just take pictures of it and shit, and throw it up in the Discord.
I will, because it's old as fuck. When I got it, I asked my uncle, I'm like, do you know where this is from? Because he had like a 30-30 and things like that. And he knew what those were from. He's like, oh yeah, he bought that when I was a teenager and stuff. And I said, what is this right here? This old ass double barrel shotgun. He says, I think that's from his grandmother. He thinks his grandma owned that or something. Yeah. I'm like, oh boy.
Old. I mean,
really old.
A lot of those old shotguns, like they take like black powder shotgun loads, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like a brass case, and it's like a 2.5 inch, instead of like 2 3/4.
Yeah.
But you can still make rounds for it. I mean,
the bore for this thing is, I don't know, it's like that. It's not super big at all. It's not like
it'd be a
they're
20
not,
gauge.
yeah, it's small. It's not like a big
It
ass,
should
you
stay
know.
on the side of one of the barrels. It should say on one of the sides. Like
Okay,
what
I
it
haven't.
is. Like, yeah.
I'll pull it out after we're done here, and I'll take photos of it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I saw it. It was like old as dirt. I cracked it open. You know, I did the break and everything like that. And I'm just like, I would never shoot this thing. It feels like it's about to fall apart in my hands. So,
I mean, it could be the shotgun that you use on Doom when you get the fucking break action shotgun on Doom.
yeah, the double barrel.
Yeah.
I thought about that. Like, damn, dude, if I was like in Mad Max or something, I would saw this thing down and like,
Oh
have that
yeah,
in my fucking, you know, on my fucking thigh.
witness me. Fuck
God
it,
damn, dude.
No, but like, yeah, old guns they're. I'm not afraid of them because I trust the metallurgy back then, and like the people who are making this shit were very smart. People think this is something that I've noticed, like not just with guns or whatever, but like with history in general. People think that we're the smartest, you know, because everybody before us was just dumb, and we're the pinnacle of intelligence. It's like
Right.
I disagree with that. I
Yeah.
really do. People
Yeah.
have been intelligent. There's a reason we're here.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Like just because our technology is different doesn't mean that people were stupid. And like,
Well,
here's
no, just yeah. I mean, there are so many times where you look up someone from history and they're like an expert in you know, like this sort of mathematician or whatever. I mean, it's like they're a jack of all trades and, you know, master of all of them. So you know,
Yes.
absolutely, yeah, it's really impressive.
Yeah, people, I mean, there's been smart people throughout history. There's been dumb people throughout history. But here's the thing is like, so my question to people who say, oh, these guns were made in such horrible conditions, blah, 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 and they all blew up and they, you know, it was horse shit. Whatever. I'm like, so you think that back then they didn't give a shit about their standards and their quality of like what they were making? I was like, that's really, really immature to think that way.
Yeah. Well, why would they do that?
No, it's like, no, I mean, if they had problems, there's a reason that engineers have existed for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Because they try shit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then they go, okay, well, I found this design and I've designed this thing that I believe works. Okay, let's put it through tests then. It goes through tests. It's pretty fucking good. And then they go, okay, well, can you actually manufacture this on a large scale? Like, I mean, on Friday, we're going to be doing a stream, little fun hint about black powder weapons.
Oh, nice.
And Trey is going to be on, and we're going to have another person on who's got a YouTube channel, who's going to be the one who's talking about all this shit. And it'll kind of like coincide with what I'm saying is like, no. People back then were not idiots. Like,
yeah,
I don't know where that came from. Like this misconception that people in previous years and centuries and decades or whatever were fucking idiots. I'm like,
yeah, it's a misconception about what people think is right today, like what they think is right to believe today, and that people back then didn't believe that. Yeah,
sure, yeah, and it's like quality standards as well. I'm like, oh, look who the fuck jumped on.
Who?
Your shit's not working, bud.
I don't see anybody.
What? You don't see anybody? Not yet.
No, I don't see anything. Oh, wait,
your shit's not working.
Hey, Nate the Great.
It's not working because I'm walking and you're in my pocket. But everyone's talking about guns and I gotta jump in.
Come on, Nate the Great. What do you have to say?
Don't shoot your semi with those like silver werewolf tip rounds. Don't do that.
We've already fucking established that.
I know. I've been listening.
I know.
I'm glad that I have multiple people now telling me.
I'm just like further pushing it forward. Do not do that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Yeah. I was no.
We've all done dumb shit, including Nate. We've all done dumb shit with guns and like.
Yes, it's nothing new. It's nothing new, dude.
Well,
no, it's good that yeah. Go ahead.
Well, that's why I wanted to jump on. Was I just sold I was listening to everything, and Mike went through his video and everything. I just put the Kyber Pass mistake up for sale. That do you remember that little tiny little Webley I showed you, Mike?
Yep.
That was like, oh no. oh no. Like, it's like I got that in, and they're like, okay, so now you have to pay $100 for paperwork. I'm like, this doesn't work. It's literally a paperweight. And he's like, it's still a frame. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
So yeah, that was bad. I don't know if I ever showed you, Michael, but it's
You did. I remember it.
Yeah, the serrations that were like hand carved with the chisel.
Yep.
And I think the Webley was about, imagine like a shrink ray at like 35%. Like that's what this thing looked like, and it had Birmingham misspelled.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Yeah.
I
a lot of those. Coming back.
I will admit, for a laugh, I was kind of drunk the night I bought it. So
it's okay. I'm kind of drunk right now.
Nice.
Not a big deal. It's happened. Here's the thing: is back in the day when I did that shit, the boozing and buying, it was about half the time good and half the time not good.
Yeah,
like really not good. Where you're like, oh, this seems like a good idea at the time. Let's fucking go. And then
I think my luck is like 25% crap and 75% luck. So it just happens, man. Like I just also put up that 12 gauge pistol like grip shotgun from a shotgun made in like 1912.
I'll be back. I gotta let the fucking
weasel horses.
I hear him.
Yeah, I hear him.
I can hear him, dude.
Yeah. Sophie just came in and she's like, "I'm gonna kill the fucking dog." So I'm gonna go.
I gotta go. I got spicy diarrhea. I had that cut off like pistol grip like antique shotgun that someone like I guess was like, yeah, this would be a good idea. It was like a 12 gauge shotgun, like the length of your forearm.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, no. No. I shot it once and was like, that was fun, but even with like welding gloves, it still like, ate me. So it was like,
no, thank you.
I'm done.
Well, I showed you that I have a number of weird antique things, dude. I was just talking to Mike about my fucking double barrel shotgun from like 18 something.
That was what made me want to jump on, because I got a Stagecoach brass, black powder brass side by side hammer. 1860s.
Oh, so
maybe
going way back.
Yeah, it's really ornate. It's got like a really nice like etching with inside it, and then but I cannot find the manufacturer, but now I got to do what Mike was yelling at you do, is I should put it in Discord and see if there's anyone who's a black powder nerd, because I can't find a book or a listing or whatever of this brand. I've only seen one other time the name, the manufacturer's name came up, but like it's like 18. It's probably realistically like late 1870s, maybe 1880s.
Jeez, maybe it's so unique. Maybe it's like worth a fucking fortune. Who knows?
Yeah. Most likely, it's probably worth like half what I paid for 10 years ago.
That's sad.
Yeah. Well, some guy was like, I'll tell a gun show story. I was like 19, and I'm like, I really want a side by side. And of course, me being like, I'm so cool. I want things historical. I'm like, I want to go find a historical side by side, not knowing the fucking dangers of that, and thinking I could put like a 12 gauge shotgun in it, and before anyone freaks out, it's not a Damascus barrel, so don't worry.
Okay,
but it was just like, all right, let's figure it out. And this guy saw a fucking pawn. And he was like, 800. I'm like, it's like my first big summer money, and I'm like, because I just got out of high school. And I'm like, how about like 5? He's like, I'll do you one better. I'll flip a coin. And I flipped a coin and I won it. I got it for like, I think it was like 6 with everything.
Okay.
And he's like, you can just walk out. It's an antique. I'm like, see ya. And the thing is beautiful. It's ornate as fuck. But then I think it was like 3 or 4 years later, I'm cleaning it and I didn't realize that the right hammer screw is a hardware Home Depot screw. And I was like, you bitch.
So it's had a little work done on it. It's not completely original.
Yeah. It looks like probably the screw just came out and someone thought they could just replace it. But it's beautiful. The barrel is really interesting though, because it's only as long. It's as long from my elbow to the tips of my fingers.
So like 3 inches.
No, we're not talking about below the belt, dude. We're talking about fucking arm.
Oh shit, my bad. Oh, I got confused for a second.
Yeah. We're not talking about the cheese. Yeah, no cheese wheel. Okay, you know,
the tuna can.
Yeah.
Tuna can.
But like it's beautiful, but I don't have a need for it anymore. I would love to put it like above the fireplace, but my wife.
That's what I was just gonna say. It's like that's just a wall hanger. That's just a wall hanger, dude.
Yeah. But here's the thing is, I personally like wall hangers that function.
Yeah.
You know, like you can grab the son of a bitch if there's like a fucking bear attacking.
Intruder! I'm gonna blast him like it's 1875.
No, but it's like you know, I mean, I like my tools to be in working order.
Yeah.
If I want to get a wall hanger, I'll get a fucking rubber or a 3D printed replica.
Right.
And paint it. You know, like. So I get where you're coming from, dude.
So,
like that's
I mean, like I could put the reenacting Shrek, I guess, above the mantle, but that might also draw questions.
Well, Nate, I'm proud that you were actually able to identify it as a Home Depot screw. You know,
yeah.
Most people wouldn't know that.
It was pretty fucking easy when it fell out, and I was like, "Huh?"
So it's Mexican.
Whoops. You. Oh. Mike, stream. Whoa.
The stream just goes
whoops.
Yeah.
I was just asking if the screw was Mexican, if it was made in Mexico. That's all I was asking.
Yeah, it's Mexican screw, man. That's when you buy a box of them. That's what they say.
Border hotline. +1 for topical. All right. When you said it was wrapped in electrical tape, I was like, oh, I gotta come on and talk about some felonies.
Yeah,
not felonies. What the fuck am I talking about? Shit.
Some
We're on a stream, Nate. We're on a stream, Nate.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have the electrical tape on it. I removed it, but you can see the imprint from where it was put there back in 1981 or whatever.
Well, dude, I've got it like that little 410 that I use at the break action from like 1923.
Mm-hmm.
That I got it from my dad. Like he got it from his mother apparently, or his dad. I don't know. It's a 410 fucking Sears, whatever, like Remington break action shotgun. Yeah. That fucking grip does not stay on because like it wore out. Like where the wood meets the metal, that whole thing, like that whole channel is like loose as shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of like mom and pop like hand me down single action break action side by sides.
Yeah,
where the grip's just like an opinion. So, you know, it's like, okay, I guess I'll handle this today. I mean, I've seen worse. I mean, I saw a guy, oh God, at the range. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. He had his, all
right, I guess, are we back?
Oh, did something happen?
Nope.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I can hear you.
I can hear you just fine. You're paused. You were frozen for a second.
Yeah, you're frozen.
So
you were frozen.
As long as you guys were still good, like we'll see how the stream goes. But like,
I can hear Nate just fine.
Yeah, sorry, I was like talking, not looking, and you're like, "Hello." I'm like, "Oh, did my battery die?"
No, it was my internet just shit out. Like I froze.
Okay.
Everything was like spinning circles, and I'm like, God damn it, again.
You're back now.
As long as the stream's fine, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, I didn't lose Michael. So yeah, no, what was I talking about? Oh. The guy at the range, you know those like bore sights you like put in your rifle?
Yes. Yep. The laser.
I watched this guy just yeet one like 3 weeks ago, he was like doing all the lineups, and then they're like, "All right, range is hot." He's like, "All right," and he like just put his mag in and just went boom, and this thing just went go back, like it just shattered out, and it was just flew out, and I'm like, "Oh, man, that's an obstruction too." Like Jesus, and it was like the expensive one because I went up to him. I'm like, "How much did that cost you?" And he's like, $200.
Oh no!
I'm like, that's why you buy the $40 ones.
Motherfucker thought he was cool for a second.
Being a retard doesn't pay. It doesn't.
No.
So
no, I Mike got to deal with me ranting about because I'm recently talking about shooting though, Michael. I've been recently going a lot more this year, and
nice.
I've been trying to thin the herd and turn the collection and actually like use some stuff, kind of what Mike was doing earlier this year. And I've kind of let go a lot of things, but before I do, I'm like testing it and seeing if I still love it and, you know, give it a better home because obviously I haven't been using it. Yeah. And there was wow, I am tired. I completely lost the train of my thought. I'm sorry.
All I hear are crickets, Nate.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, I know. Well, as Jake likes to say, I'm in my area, so
appropriately, all I hear are crickets.
Yeah.
Nate's location is in his location, so
yeah, I'm in my location. Yeah, I fuck you. I don't know where I was going. Sorry, I've had a long day.
No, it's all right, dude. It's all right.
Yeah, shooting. It was something cool about shooting and thin the herd. And
you said you've been doing a lot more shooting this year, like out at the range and stuff.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I mean, I've just been shooting more in general, and I don't know where I was going with that, but I've been loving it and kind of like really realizing like, okay, like I can let this go and I can work on this, and I don't know, it's just been really great getting back into that. And I heard you guys talking about that earlier. And I'm like, I really need to get back out here more and work on that skill. I guess is my reason why.
Nate, I think since I've known you, you've been thinning the herd. You know, you've been talking about downsizing and getting rid of your collection.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Well, I mean, it always kind of ebbs and flows. You know, it's like you sell one to get another one, or you know, you buy two and tell your wife you bought one, like that kind of stuff.
Since we become friends, like, you know, you've talked about like your 29th ID, you know, collection and stuff like that. And I'm just like, no, don't get rid of that shit, please.
Oh shit! No. Really quick, can we talk about that? So Nate, the 29th ID,
I zoomed in. I zoomed in. It was
what was that?
I was about to launch into that if you guys weren't going to.
Let's get it done. Yeah,
I don't know if you can pull it up, but if you don't have to play that monstrosity again.
I'm gonna play it, dude. If you
but pause it. Right. We'll pause it and then zoom in. I don't know the time code off the top of my head, but you'll see it. Zoom in. It's diabolical.
I could have sworn that mannequin was a black dude. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's an M1 helmet though on it.
I thought it was like a beanie cap or something.
It looks like a Gulf War helmet to me, but I could be horribly, horribly wrong.
Weird shrine.
It's not great. It's right before he goes into his air wade.
His air wade.
It's in that elongated hallway, and it's in the back on the left. If you want
I really appreciated the air wade.
Oh my god, dude! You shared that today, and I had to watch it because I knew I probably wouldn't be able to jump on tonight.
Right.
And oh my god, man!
So check. Okay, so I've got it. I'm gonna.
You share your screen.
Yeah, Wade. It's brutal, man. He's got the flag on the shoulder, which the 29th never.
No, that's
never ever had.
That's a 1942-43 thing.
This is really
okay. There it is.
It's on the very left. Like you could probably zoom. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't zoom, man. I don't know how to do that. I'm a fag. So.
What is it? Michael, walk him through it.
If you go to settings, you'll find the zoom tool. If you want me to switch it to mine, I can do it if you want.
Okay, yeah, try it out. Try it
So
out.
what's that
Yeah.
helmet though on that? That
That's
doesn't
like,
look like
that's like a Jeep cap, dude. That's
I was just gonna say it's a Jeep.
Does
cap.
it? Okay, I was looking at my phone, so maybe I'm just more
Yeah.
blind than I really am.
So
Yeah.
Michael is gonna pull it up.
But
and,
it is. I mean, I was like, all right, here we go, and you know, it's about what I expect. I mean, I've told my opinions about this guy. I mean, I don't hate the guy for the game. I hate the way that he portrays information and you know, this is a guy who's you know, when he dies, he's gonna win the game for how many toys he has.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
like that's
he's
all
got
it
a lot of
is.
them. He's got
Yeah,
a lot of them.
it's very impressive to, you know, suck enough dick to fucking own all those radios, but you know, I
God damn it, Nate.
I don't I just don't understand, like, you know, just the way he presents it. Like, I get it. If it gets people, I think kind of bounce off what James said. It's like, you know, if it gets people to dive into history, okay. But what I hate about it is like people going on and going, this guy is the wheel wheel. You know, it's
Yeah.
just I can't
Yep.
stand it.
That's what I was saying. I'm just like, I'm fine. You know, collection is whatever, dude. But when you're like spouting shit like this is that, and just it's complete, you know,
Look,
Felder, it's not good.
Yeah. I mean, I can also tell you some of the nurses in uniforms were wrong.
See, I couldn't even do
actually
that.
have no idea about that. That's why I didn't comment on it.
My favorite,
I have no fucking idea on it.
Right. The only reason why I know that is because I got really into trying to get my wife into reenacting again. You know, there was funny. don't do that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nate. All right, so Mike's got this pulled up, or Michael's got this pulled up.
Yeah, zoomed in right here. So I see, obviously, the 29th ID thing is very noticeable. So that's
a winter cap.
Yeah, that's
Civil
Defense
like, Corps fucking winter cap.
Yeah, God.
What is up with this long hair hanging out?
So that no. That's the winter hat that like the little things come down.
Oh,
the ear thing. So he has them tied up.
No, he's right about the hair though, because like
is that hair?
Yeah, it's hair. Yeah,
it looks like hair to me.
It's like a female. 29th.
Yeah, and then just the fucking brassard right here from like Operation Torch.
Weird. Weird.
Isn't that fucking weird?
Are those HBTs? I can't.
I think so.
I think
probably.
they're Wolves. It's like it's OD7.
It's either Wolves or it's an M43.
So the 29th had a medical battalion assigned to them. I think it's the ones. Oh God, someone's gonna fucking tell me I'm wrong, which I probably am.
Whatever. No, whatever.
I think it was the 106 medical battalion. I think.
Well, they had an engineer, but they had an engineer battalion, and they had HBTs, from what I know.
But I don't know if they would have had 29.
That's also. It looks like a black chick.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, is that a black person? I mean, unless you're part of the fucking the balloon corps that put up the barrage balloons, you're not going to have any.
I believe the 29th is the only documented unit to have a problem with
say it, Nate.
No, I'm trying to remember the word for it. Why am I blanking on it? What's the word with integrated units? What is that called?
Oh, desegregation?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a problem with desegregated units.
Okay, they're from.
I think they're the only. I think they're the only unit documented to have like a fist fight with another unit because
that's not fucking surprising. They're
Dude,
the
Nate,
Bedford
say
boys.
whatever the fuck you want. I don't care if this fucking stream gets zapped.
No. That's exactly what all I have to say. I mean, that's all it is. It's
yeah.
I
think
the 29th is the only
with black people in their unit in the 29th, and so for him to portray this is like
that is unhistorical.
Yeah. We're not being racist here. It's factual.
Yeah, I'm never fucking racist. Like it's like
yeah.
Like on streams, I'm never fucking racist. So
On streams,
Sorry,
on streams, you're never racist.
yeah, sorry.
no, dude, if it's a fact, it's a fact. I don't give a fuck. If they
Yeah, I
want to
know.
zap it for that,
Yeah,
you know, like whatever.
Hold
But no,
hold
I'm pretty
fast.
sure the 29th didn't have black people in it.
Yeah,
Most units did not. So
no. If you're talking about Omaha Beach, the what is it called? It's like the 309th Barrage Balloon Battalion. They're the only
those guys.
Yeah, they're the only black guys that would have been there. So
no,
there's
shit,
a
we never
really.
did the 29th?
Well, I'm sorry. What?
We're lagging. My fucking internet's fucking up. It's porno power hour, I guess.
Porno power hour.
But
dude, it's crank time in Wisconsin, man.
So the balloon battalion, whatever the fuck you said, they had black people in there, and that was part of the 29th division.
No, they weren't part of the 29th division, but in terms of because 29th landed on Omaha, they would have landed like amongst them.
Yeah,
they were a completely separate thing. They were not part of the 29th. Like
they were their own task unit to do the single balloon blast. There's a really good unit that goes to DDay, Ohio. I don't think they do the balloons anymore. This must have been like the 60th, maybe the 70th. No, 70th. I'm not that old. The 70th, and those guys, man. Well, no, they did a marvelous job, and they decided to take out reproduction signaling balloons out that year.
Nice.
And they were all black. They were amazing, and they were awesome,
dude. Yeah,
but there was 25 to 30 mile an hour not winds out there, and I watched these poor guys trying to follow through with the balloon, and I watched 5 of them just get dragged across the beach. They just were eating sand all the way down. It took a bunch of other guys, including myself, grabbed the line, and we had to help them weigh it down so they could get enough guys out of the sand to then grab it fully on. It was. I think that was 2014. They did a really good job. They were awesome. They were really good.
The thing is, like, when I was in reenacting, there's a lot of like black guys that were like, would it be like, weird if I did this? And I'm like, yeah, actually it would, because those people were all white. Like the segregation, whatever happened, like I just want to portray history as accurate as it possibly can be.
Of course.
And there was a dude that I met one time who did Red Ball Express, those guys.
Oh,
right?
Nice.
And he was wearing coveralls, a fucking helmet, and a shoulder slung 45 holster with a 45 in it, right?
Yeah.
And he knew the fucking history, and he was able to fucking explain to the public what they actually did. Because those guys fucking, dude, were amazing. Those guys had balls.
Yeah.
I mean, and they were just like, and then for World War I, it's like, well, for World War I, if you're black, you've got a couple options to do for U.S.
Right.
You've got the 369th, and you've got what the hell is it called? For not just the U.S., I guess, but you've got like you can do Senegalese troops, whatever, like that. If you want to be historically accurate. We don't give a fuck if you're portraying a U.S. soldier and you're black. We don't give a fuck. But they asked her, like, what would be most historically accurate? And I'm like, well, this, because I can't portray a unit that was like notoriously black. I can't do that in my own conscience because it's not historically accurate, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you can't do 91st or 92nd.
That's what I mean. Yeah. And it's like, and so there's not a problem with that. It's just like, but they were always like, if I wanted to do this, I'm like, do whatever you want to do, man. It doesn't matter. But like,
I mean, like I have a buddy of mine. He's Chinese, and he started in 2008, and he asked the question. He's like, would I be allowed, like, historically? And they're just like, maybe. And then I think it was almost like it was meant to be. I think like 2 weeks later, someone found like actual written documentation of like, I think a Korean guy, a Chinese guy, and like, I don't know, some other guy in the 29th. And it was
Exactly.
like, holy, all right, sick, let's do it, you know? Because at that point, because a lot of people think like, oh, 29th is Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania. During the National Guard times, absolutely.
Yes, 1930s, yeah.
But once mobilization happened and
Yep, you
fucking
get
army
everyone.
pulled in, everyone, like I have death cards for the 116th, death cards for the 116th from guys from California, Illinois, Iowa, like everywhere.
Dude, I mean, you probably recognize this name. One of the most prolific members of the 29th ID on D-Day, Hal Baumgarten from B Company.
Yeah,
he's from the Bronx, New York.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, it really did kind of splinter out. I mean, like, you know, the 29th is known for Bedford and Bedford, Virginia, because of where the memorial and all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, that's my unit that I. I mean,
especially National Guard units that like they're okay. They've got their diaspora, however the fuck you pronounce it. Usually, and then when wartime comes, it's like, well, we're getting replacements from all over the fucking country. And there was an example that a friend of mine, good reenactor friend Mark, he is an 88th Division historian, right? Because he's from North Dakota, and he was saying that in World War I, right, they were drafting people and they were like getting everybody, and then these two guys who were brothers who had a Chinese restaurant, who were from China, they were Chinese immigrants, they moved east to North Dakota, volunteered, and they were cooks in the 88th Division during the First World War. They're Chinese, right? Immigrants.
Yeah.
And so, but they're and they said that the food was fucking amazing because these guys would source food and they would spice it like, you know, good Chinese food and everything. And like, they ate very well. Yeah. And it's, you know, it's things like that. Like, so that's why, you know, when people are like, you know, oh, can I do this, you know, for World War II or World War I? It's like, yes, you can. Absolutely. Just my whole thing is like, just get it as accurate as possible. And if it's accurate for like having the exception, you know, a fucking draftee or somebody who volunteered who's going into a unit as a replacement, okay, that's fine. You know, and it's like, I wouldn't portray 91st because, I mean,
it's just not right. So, it's not accurate.
It's not accurate. Yeah, exactly.
But by the way, I just looked it up because, you know, I forgot the name, but I remembered it. On Omaha with the 29th guys, 320th Barrage Balloon Battalion. Those were the black guys.
320th.
Yeah, 320th Barrage Balloon Battalion.
Yeah, they were insane.
Yeah, they would have been wearing the First Army patch on their
uniforms. Okay. Yeah, interesting.
So not the 29th ID.
That's what makes me really annoyed. It's like I don't know. We used to do a little thing with movies, and that what always annoyed me when we did that was like, you know, there wasn't really great representation of combat units or engineer units that were, you know, segregated units. And I think the only thing that we have in media, I think, is what, Miracle at Santa Ana or whatever the fuck that thing is.
And that movie fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Well, there's also Go for Broke, about the 442nd.
I forgot about that. I've never seen that though. I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. No.
Dude, so Henry from 9 Reviews, again talking about him, but like he actually, I sewed a 442nd patch onto his. He's got a whole uniform. I know you heard it here first, folks. But
I think he had it in an episode like a couple months ago.
No, I don't think he did. Not yet. I haven't seen it because he would have told me. But like, so he's got a 442nd impression. He doesn't have the helmet yet. So
I'm kind of a big fan. So, you know, I just kind of keep track of that. Yeah.
But anyway, but he's like, so obviously he's from fucking Hong Kong. He's Asian, right?
Right.
He's East Asian, and it's like, okay. He goes, so if I want to do World War II or whatever, like what, you know, I want to do the 442nd and, you know, blah, 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 what would be accurate? And I said, well, you'd have all this gear and blah, blah, blah. It's late 43 is when they entered, you know, combat. And so I worked with him and like, we got that done. So he's going to be portraying that in some of his videos coming up.
That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
That'll be great.
There.
Yeah, that'll be great.
But no, seriously, like, so he was like, hey, you know, I wouldn't probably be in a white regiment. And I'm like, no, probably not. And it's, you know, the chances are very slim unless you're in like late 45 and they're like, oh, fuck, we need everybody.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, but he wanted to portray the 442nd because he's like, yeah. And it's not because of, you know, he's not racist at all. Nobody's racist about that. It's just like, what is accurate?
What is historical accurate for the time?
Yeah.
Does
And here's
not
the thing is,
represent yourself.
if I were to portray 442nd, I'd have to be a fucking NCO or an officer at the beginning.
Yeah, same.
I couldn't do an enlisted man, you know, like it's like that's what was accurate. And
yeah, executive order 9981, which is where they integrated that didn't come around until 1948. So
yeah,
1980.
Truman signed that in, and even in Korea they had problems with integrated units.
Yep.
Because the white people from the South, especially, like it is just a fact. It's like whatever, because of history. Like everybody has to understand, there's a history to a history to a history to a history.
Look,
why people act a certain way.
All I'll say is Henry's Arasaka video is the best representation of a Japanese soldier. So
Well,
I love that video, dude. I play
how about
that.
this?
I play that like every couple months to make me smile. It's fucking funny,
dude. Honestly, dude, like the reenactors that were at Backhander last year,
yeah,
the Japanese ones,
yeah, you're
were
pulling
on
back
fucking
horrible.
point.
You're pulling back horrible memories on me. But yeah, no.
No. It was a good event, dude. We get to meet in person. We got to fucking hang out.
Oh yeah, no. That's what that's what I try to remember too. Yeah.
Yep. But anyway, but like those Japanese reenactors, holy shit, were they top notch?
Oh, they were perfect. I love those guys. Those guys were top notch, and they were all what I really loved about them. I guess talking about Japanese reenactors real quick is like normally I've done a few Pacific theater stuff, and it's been like, you know, I love hearing Michael's side conversation.
Yeah, I know. It's all right, dude. It's all right. I'm actually gonna message Peter right now and ask him if I can show that footage. Because I don't want to do it without his permission.
Roger, yeah, I would. The cool last part of that event though, I think, is that those guys were young and they spoke fluent Japanese.
Yes.
And I think that was the coolest thing, was just,
and their kit was fucking impeccable.
Yeah, but they weren't like some of them were. Well, not douchebags. I was gonna say that some of them were. What's the word? Cosplay reenactors. Maybe that's what I'm trying to get at. I think there was only a couple of them in there where they were like super super sparkly clean, like fancy, but for the most part, these guys were rough and dirty, and they spoke fluent Japanese, and that was the best part about that whole thing. Was like, I don't know, just all of a sudden just walking straight into an ambush and no one's speaking English other than the Marines. So that was really cool. And they were screaming and yelling, they're screaming and yelling and cursing at us, and fuck you, like all that stuff back and forth. It was fucking great.
Nice.
But no, I liked that event for that sense, for that reason alone.
Are you talking about the 442nd?
No, talking about the Backhander reenactors.
Yeah, Backhander that last year in August.
The really good reenactor guys.
Okay.
Yeah, the Japanese guys who were fucking stellar.
Yeah, if you guys, if anyone's ever looking at doing that, I can't remember the unit name, but I'm sure if you look up Backhander event 2023, you'd find the unit that's there. They're amazing. I don't know what unit it was, but yeah.
So I'm still realizing we're zoomed in on this image right here.
Extreme close up
of the 29th.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, man. That must be a medical battalion with somehow a reason to have a 29th.
Well, they've got the night landing brassard from like Operation Torch and Operation Husky, which would not be a thing anymore once the 29th came around.
Yeah, it's it's funny. I was I won't drop his last name, but you've been talking to Steve about a lot of stuff.
Yes,
who's in my unit, and he's
I love Steve.
dude. He is a wealth of knowledge that's incredible. I mean, I don't know how he keeps it straight, because I can barely keep my ass together for 29th history, and like all I know is that prior to I guess D-Day sausage camp, I can wear khakis with a black tie and a Kelly's helmet until England of 42, 43, and then I have to do M1 with wools and leggings and like all that stuff. And he's like, oh, the stamp on this document's wrong because by the month it's something blah blah blah. I'm like, how the hell do you keep that together, man?
He was the one.
Autism.
Well, yeah, no, heavily autistic. Yeah,
he was able to.
Yeah.
He was able to find all of the boat teams, all of the numbers stenciled on the boats that carried the A company to shore.
He'll scan archival documents. Like, he's insane. I don't know how he has the time. He's got 2 kids. I only have fucking 1, and I barely have enough time to fucking jerk off.
Yeah. He picks my brain about the German defenses, and I pick his brain about the 29th ID. Yeah, he knows so much shit.
Yeah. He was funny. He was like, I don't know what he said. I think he said like, "Oh," I said, well, "You should ask Michael." He goes, "Oh, I talk to Michael all the time." I'm like, I talk to Michael all the time. He's like, "How do you know Michael?" I'm like, "Well, let me tell you this story."
There's a whole saga. There's a whole saga.
Let me tell you. Sit down, sweet summer child. Let me tell you the story of how I lost my mind in the caves.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you about how I lost my sanity and was taken advantage of. No, poor Nate.
And they shoved pine cones up my ass.
Hey, everything's okay now, though.
Everything's all right. Yeah.
That's what we
above ground. Yeah. No, it's just it's fucking funny, dude. But it was like he's like, how? And then I think you told me you were talking to him. I'm like, dude, he's in my fucking unit. Like,
yeah. Because the funny thing goes because like I would hit up every 29th ID guy I knew for information. I'd hit you up, I'd hit him up, and eventually you were like, talk to my buddy Steven. I'm like, I already know that motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, like he's designated like the unit historian, and there are other guys who are like really knowledgeable in certain fields. I mean, that's the reenacting spectrum.
Yeah,
is that and the thing is, it's like the only thing is I know Steve wouldn't be a dick if you asked him a question.
Oh, no,
everyone has their own spectrum, but there's a lot of reenactors who are just dicks.
Well, that's funny you say that, and I'm not gonna name names, but I've come across a number of them who are like considered super knowledgeable in terms of D-Day stuff, and there's one guy over in England who was apparently like knew a lot about 29th ID stuff. And
I think I know who you're talking about just by a description alone. Yeah.
Yeah. And I asked him some stuff and he was super sarcastic. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to be a fucking dick, then I'm just done, dude. Like, I'm not here to get trolled,
If all amateur historians were like Steve and all historians were like James, I think we'd all be a lot more knowledgeable in this world.
Yeah. And I try not to be that kind of guy because I don't know, like, sometimes you're tempted to be, and you can't be an asshole like that.
Yeah, I mean, when I scream from the rooftops and I tell you that the MG42s were all on Omaha Beach, and you tell me no, I think I get really hurt. This is like, you don't take my historical credentials seriously, man.
Right. No, when you say that, I'm like, well, actually, let me sit
you down and try to identify this Soviet gun that was only made for fucking 6 months and only one picture of evidence was there. Oh, never mind. I asked Brian.
I am going to make you hate Saving Private Ryan.
Too late.
Yeah.
Already there.
Speaking of which, I was about to show some cool footage, but
were you going to show the Flintlock series again?
Nah.
Well, one day we'll get that war. We'll drum up that war. Michael hit me. I think it was like 3 months later. Michael hit me with a rebuttal, and I'm like, dude, I am so busy.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll think about it. Yeah. Oh no, it's I want to get a night when I guess it have to be a weekend and I'm the busy one, but get Trey on here and start talking about reenacting stories. God damn, man! We could literally talk for like years about that shit.
I have been, I have witnessed a little bit of the reenacting stuff. I've never done reenacting really myself. I've been to a couple events and I've seen some stuff. I've never really been part of it though. So yeah, I would be very interested to know I'd love to hear some war stories, as it were.
Oh,
and I know both of you guys got them.
Yeah, I got a few. I mean, there's.
You told me about the time some asshole rolled you over and fired his M1 carbine in your ear.
Oh, yeah, that's why I can't hear out of my right ear. Yeah, there's that one. There's seen a guy almost get sucked into a tank. Seen a guy have a heat cache on at DDay Room, Ohio, and almost fell in front of the tractor that they had one year. So they had what do you call it? They had this would have been I don't know, 2012. I've been doing this since 2008, so I got a lot of years. And DDay Ohio has kind of evolved, ebbed and flowed, and gotten too big, and then it's too small, and then it's stupid, and then it's great, and then I'm fat, and then I'm thin. It goes up and down.
Right.
And it's interesting because one year they got really into, before they got all the tank mechanization that they've had for about 4 years now, they were trying to find some avenue of treaded vehicles. And they had this little baby fucking Panzer II. They had some kind of officer car, and then they had the obstacle clearing tractor.
Okay.
And this guy would put it on the boat, and they would put it on the Higgins, and they would drive off the Higgins with it. And it was kind of impressive, but it's a tractor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my favorite thing was watching about 9 fat as fuck 5th Rangers, you know who you are, fucking hiding behind this thing trying to get the driver to put the fucking bulldozer part of it up so they could use it as a shield so they could jump on. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Okay, Nate,
what Ranger Rick motherfucking bullshit is this? Nate, shut the fuck up.
Nate, I got something to tell you. So,
the guy fell. The guy, long story short, guy had a heat cache in front of it. They had the blade up for these stupid morons. He couldn't see the guy who fell. I had to grab him by his legs and pull him out. And it literally was about a 15. If I didn't see him go down, we would have had pancake mode because no one knew he was there. Anyway, go ahead.
So you might know this guy. I won't say his full name, but his name is Christian. And
is the last name start with a S?
Yes.
I know exactly who you're fucking talking about. Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. So Christian hit me up a few months ago, and he was saying, "Hey, listen, do you know who I am?" And I'm like, "No," because we have a bunch of mutual friends, and I'm like, "How can I help you?" And he says, "Well, I like all the work you've been doing with the Omaha Beach stuff. I'm part of the DDay Ohio thing. I'm a huge part of that." And I'm like, that's cool. I'm not going to say that I know it's a bunch of bullshit, but anyway, I'm like, all right, dude, what's up? And he's like, well, I'm trying to make,
he likes to fight people on the internet. So
okay. Yeah. Well, no. So he and I haven't had a scuffle yet, but he says to me, "Hey, Mike, I like what you're doing with all the Omaha Beach research and everything like that. I'm part of the DDay Ohio thing. Been trying to, for years now, make this thing more accurate. Here's the area where
sorry.
It sounds like you have your own stories with this guy. But
I can't go into it for reasons, but you can tell I laughed about more accurate. Anyway.
Yeah. So he's saying, well, I'm like, well, I'm all about accuracy. So what's up, dude? And he's like, well, here's the problem. we have this for our German stuff for the WNs, and I'm like, what part of Omaha Beach are you depicting? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, Omaha Beach was 5 miles long, dude. There are many parts of it. What part of it are you depicting? He's like, well, we land
the part in Saving Private Ryan.
Right. He's like, well, we like to depict A company and B company of the 116. I'm like, okay, so Western End then. So Charlie, Dog Green and Dog White. He's like, yeah, and here's the area we got mapped out. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, that's nothing like it. So you're kind of shit out of luck. And he says, well, I've been looking at your maps recently. I really like what you did with the Ruque Valley over at, Easy Red sector. I'm like, yeah, that's first ID sector. And he said, yeah, we also have some first ID guys that land there. So
yeah, and they're trash, but okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. And he's trying to tell me like what he wants to do in terms of make it more accurate. And he says, what I really want to do is build the anti-tank trap, the zigzag anti-tank trap filled with water, the Panzer Abwehr Spitzgraben. And I'm like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they had those at Les Moulins. They had them at Les Ruquets. And they didn't have them on the very far western end. They didn't have them where the majority of like A company and B company landed. He's like, yeah, but we're trying to do that. I think that'd be cool. And I said, okay, well, you need an excavator to do that. It was a giant trench. He's like, we've built that before. The German reenactors jump in it and they use it as a trench. And I'm like, well, tell them not to do that. And he's like, there's nothing I can do. And I'm like, well, that's not your shit's gonna suck if that keeps happening. So that's basically where we left off, was that he says that he wants to build an accurate representation of the anti-tank ditch, the ones that are like at Les Moulins and La Ruque. But he says that the German reenactors jump in them and use them as battle trenches, which is...
Speaking of fucking reenactments, I pulled up a video that we did a few years back. It's Heinz Thiel. He goes to a lot of reenactments and gets a lot of good footage. This is the problem with reenactments, is we had this fucking battle with the organizers, choreographed, organized, and like scheduled months in advance, right? Mm. And so we choreographed this shit, and a bunch of other people fucking just jumped into the battle because they wanted to pop blanks.
So it became a shit show?
I'll show you. So this guy... I mean, Heinz, I respect him, but he's a fucking boomer, and his editing is not great.
Okay.
So we had the thing. Okay, what it was supposed to be was we had a scout up in a forward position in the Argonne Forest, right? And we were on a patrol, just a couple guys, like a squad-size element from the 32nd, the 128th, Bravo Company, or Baker Company at that point. And we were going to see what was up and where the German line was.
Right.
And then we had the German reenactors, IR-75, who knew this, and they were like going to be like, yeah, you're going to find our line. We didn't see the scout. This is what it turned into.
Extreme.
It was actually a really good fucking scout impression, man. He had a Warner Swayze fucking optic. It's pretty good.
Well, right now we've got our scout.
Oh, there you are.
Plus, in a few minutes, we're going to go up there and check on him. We haven't heard from him in a while. See if everything's okay. See if it's cleared. Try and punch through if we get the opportunity.
There's a few guys from IR-75.
Mm-hmm.
There's people watching this very close.
Set out here to see who the Germans are. He's in a ghillie suit, right in the trench. You can see him. They have not heard from him in days, so they're sending out a platoon to check on him.
These guys over here,
Mm-hmm.
we're not supposed to be part of it. They're all Marine reenactors, right?
Okay.
So they wanted to jump in. We have our scout here in a literal fucking ghillie suit that's historically accurate with a fucking Warner Swayze Pattern 13 telescopic musket sight, is what it was called, sitting there. Would have been sitting there for a couple days going, hey, I'm going to, just keep tabs. These guys were not originally involved.
Okay, so they just showed up, not even asking.
Yes. Okay. There's going to be more people that show up. You'll see it.
Okay.
Dang.
Nate, can you see?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, cool.
I got 7% on my phone.
So this is our. This is
how
our.
long I lost. Is that you, Mike?
Nope.
Oh shit!
Nice hit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Damn. Ragdoll.
Yeah. Kissinger, he doesn't fuck around. We'll just do that one more time.
Yeah, that was a
This,
good fall.
again, this is our fucking squad. We had this choreographed.
Mm-hmm.
This is not our squad. Over to the left here, behind our scout.
That's normally what happens.
Right, and so
I have a story. I have a story after this to tell you. Yeah.
This he's trying to be all discreet. There's just these guys walking around in the background.
Was this for public, Mike?
Yeah. There's people. So where you're looking right now, there's people to the left behind the line.
Okay, yeah.
They were about 20 yards from us though.
Okay, yeah.
This is a guy, Chris Kissinger. He was in our unit and fucking good at, he was the guy that was going to go up and try to check on the scout. We're all sitting back, like kind of pulling security, Row 1 style and everything. We did our shit the best we could. The fucking rest of them did not. Firstly, right? Then the editing. Those guys were not. They were not in our fucking group. The guys that are all standing up and like doing this shit.
Yeah.
Our guys are down here.
Right. So the standing guys are the fuck asses who want to join in. Yeah.
Go ahead.
We'll go back really quick. So this is all the guys you see going into the trench and like getting fucking cover are our guys.
So there was like this there was this event where it was the same thing, almost the same thing where
this is what happened.
We sat for an hour. We sat for an hour. Like we low crawled up to a hill. I'll keep it very short because A, my phone would probably die, and B, I don't want to interrupt you, but we were on like a hill and like we low crawled all the way up and we had scouting and we waited. We were there for an hour. No one knew we were there. And we were watching, we were in Hazleton. This is years ago. And they came up this hill, and Hazleton's very steep. If anyone's ever been there, it's an abandoned coal mine. So it's very steep up and downs. And they can't see you until you're like right up on them. Okay. And we're sitting there like on the crest of the hill, and I'm like 15 feet over the crest, and I'm like, no one can see me. and I can see these guys coming, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna like pincer them because we have like almost like an L-shaped ambush going on where they were kind of like following like a deer path, and we kind of did like an L shape, and we were waiting for them to get to a certain point, and it was gonna be beautiful. And I'm gonna name drop. Fucking first ID just comes one shot, like someone I think on the left, like all the way down, like their last guy in their line saw the first ID not moving or moving at the very end of their column, and this guy was like still on the hill. The back guy took one shot, and then all of a sudden these first ID guys come, they run through our line and run at them into a distance of 10 to 15 feet, and then just start shooting and kneeling, and I'm like, why did I just low crawl through brambles?
All right, I'm going to explain this as it goes on. That's Kissinger, right? So he takes the hit really well. The Germans are putting down carelessly with him. Yep.
That's a nice ragdoll fall.
Oh, dude, Kissinger, he's a combat veteran as well. There's me on the left.
You are.
I pop a round off, and I get to fucking cover.
Right, like you should.
You know? Okay, there's a trench here. I'm jumping the fuck in there. Okay, so these two medics. Okay, so the one on the left was ours. That's our medic. These two medics just jumped in. That guy is with our squad and whatever. So these two medics just decided to jump into the same fucking hole, and I'm like, okay, whatever. This guy's with us.
Uh-huh.
Or no, he wasn't. Never mind. So you see this. I fire around. I get...
Right. That's the same footage. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, it's just weird. You see us on the left? We're all like way the fuck down.
Yeah.
We're popping shots off, you know.
Yeah, you see that blast?
These guys are just fucking exactly. These guys are just sitting there popping blanks. And there's a couple of our guys on the left too, but like that guy was not ours, and
all these guys just standing up.
That guy was because he's under fucking, concealment.
Right. Because trees stop bullets.
Well, better than nothing, I guess, at this point. But like, okay, really quick. Again, you see us all down here, barely.
Yeah, barely.
We're at ground level, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh God, yeah.
These guys are just wandering around, walking around.
It's the Marine arena. But some random dude jumps in right there. Do you see that?
Yep.
Just jumps in because he hears you.
Also, like, the guys on the right of the video, like the guys, the Marines, they're not even on the ground, like crawling. They're just walking, dude. They're just on their feet.
It's powder burning.
That's exactly what happened, and it pissed me off because this fucking battle was choreographed, and it was like, no, it's just gonna be us because we're gonna be doing hand-to-hand shit, which you see in a watered down version. This is John. He's actually really cool. I met him in college.
Mm-hmm.
But he's doing a lot of shooting, but he's shooting and then getting the fuck down.
Getting the fuck down, yeah.
Again, the difference between the left side of this screen.
That's what I'm, differentiating. Right. Yeah.
This is us. Like, we got the fuck down.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck moving? Again, we had this all choreographed.
Yeah. There you are.
Yep. It's our actual medic, yeah.
Shit.
They just kept shooting, and it's like we should have been done at this fucking point.
What are you doing? I thought he was doing that. You don't do that.
Wait. What was that?
So the whole
Go back. What was that?
The goal was that John, the guy you see in the foreground, the redhead,
Yeah.
he smoked a fucking guy that was giving up. You could see that a little bit before that.
Okay.
And I got pissed off as a squad leader. I'm like, you don't shoot prisoners. We're not like them, you know?
Right, but that was choreographed, right?
Well, yeah, if the gunfire hadn't been going on after that fact. That was supposed to be the last shot of the fucking thing.
Okay.
And there's our medic on the left, Sam.
Yeah.
He was going over to treat our guy right there. Or not, that wasn't our guy. It was just a random... Dude, so many people got into this fucking situation. And it fucked it up so bad.
Get up!
Okay, so he smokes the fucking... Right there. Right
Right,
there.
okay.
He smokes the dude that was giving up, right?
Gotcha.
Okay, right here. This was all choreographed. He wasn't aiming anywhere near him, but like it was made to look like that from the audience.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yep.
Okay. That was supposed to be like the final fucking shot.
Okay.
And it ended up being this.
Get up!
Well, with the editing. I captured Dakota.
Yep.
These guys just kept fucking shooting.
Prisoners! What are you doing? I thought he was doing that. You don't do that.
Oh yeah. Sam went to the German guy first, and it's like I just went, "We have wounded over there," because we didn't
See,
expect
that could have been a really good moment to end it on if there wasn't the still going on.
Right. Well, it should have ended when John smoked that prisoner. Like that was where it was supposed to end.
Yeah.
Watch out! There's one man.
Who's shooting?
They wouldn't stop. Exactly.
Their fucking hands are up, dude.
This is burning power. All they want to do.
Yeah. All right. Go put on your uniform and shoot blanks at home, dude. Jesus.
They were even looking at They just wouldn't stop. These guys were not associated with this at all. And it showed up.
They don't know what the hell's going on.
Is she snobby? Check him, Corporal. Good. All right, you got 2 minutes. Grab the squad up, these guys. They're going to be back for more. Is she said, hey, stop talking.
Well, hey, dude, I commend you for still going along with the stuff that was choreographed.
Well, dude, we were just like, what the fuck are we doing here? Come on.
Yeah.
You see the girl laughing. Yeah, they kept going.
Someone's still shooting? God. What are you doing? Fucking moron.
At this point, I was just like,
Jesus, dude. He puts the hat on.
Yep.
That's cool. That's cool.
Oh, that pissed me off so
Jesus
fucking
Christ,
bad.
dude. Yeah, like the firing should have stopped fucking way, like it went on for 10 more minutes, it seemed.
John's last shot that he took was as choreographed, and we also went hands-on with each other. Well, we were supposed to go more hands-on, but because so many people showed up, we're like, well, we don't know who's who. Like, it's so fucked up. Like, we don't know.
Well,
like,
yeah, that's also like, I mean, because again, I haven't really done those things before, but like, shit can get fucking dangerous if you don't know what's going on.
Well, and that's the thing is we had this thing. We have been doing it for a whole day. We've been choreographing it was a 5-minute scene, right? It was like, but it was always like, it's always what we're wanting is like trench battles and, the typical whatever. And we were like, we want to show what the U.S., like the late U.S. guys, like in the Argonne Forest, were doing in woods battles and like fucking that kind of combat instead of like this static fucking.
Yeah, and it's because that's what's more what it was like, rather than the fucking trench stuff, which everyone, thinks about.
Right. By the time the United States got there, yes, they did. They were in trenches. Yes, they were. Mm-hmm. But like our division, specifically the 32nd, was pretty fucking mobile. Like they moved a lot and they changed positions a lot, and like they had to like adapt and shit. And those trenches that were dug there that the guy was sitting in were like very hasty trenches, very, very hasty.
Of course.
And we said, because the German guys too, the German reenactors are fucking amazing. Like those guys are late war. They're from the Hanseatic states, so they're from Bremen, right up north.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That was the division that it was, and they portray those guys like fucking perfectly. It's again, I made that video before on my channel. And it's actually pretty popular. About Dakota, you saw in that film or that video, it's a late war German impression. There's a ton of shit that he's wearing, and there's a reason for everything, and blah, blah, blah. And so we said, okay, we're doing the same thing, but with the U.S. National Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's just do a 5-minute woods battle. And there was like 10 guys on each side, basically. We're just going to do a skirmish and show how the skirmish... We actually didn't declare a winner. We were just like, whoever wins, wins. Like, we'll just go through it. And our thing was, we're going to go up. You're going to hit one of our guys, which was Chris.
Who took the initial hit.
Yep, the initial hit. And then, we got contact. Let's fucking go. And we're going to see how it plays out. But these, oh my God, like 40 other fucking people, they heard shooting or they heard that it was going to happen. And they just jumped in. And I'm like, you fucked everything up. And we didn't want to go hands-on. Like, John knew Pat, who the guy that like they're going like doing this.
Yeah.
They knew who they were, so that's why John jumped on him because we had this rehearsed.
So they know what they're doing, yeah.
Yeah, because it's very dangerous to go hands-on. Like it's closer to actual like combat than just shooting blanks above people's heads.
Right.
And so when he jumped on him and shit, and then I was just like, God damn it. We also did another one the next day or later on that day. I can't remember. It was 2016, but like. Where that one of the guys or the guy who's in hand-to-hand combat with there speared me and like fucking took me down.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, let's fucking roll. And I ended up like, we had rehearsed it and everything, but like when he fell, his Stahlhelm went into the side of his fucking ear.
I was going to ask you, is this the one where the guy cut his ear?
No, that's not the one.
Okay.
Heinz got on this footage is not the one.
Okay.
But no, the guy that speared me, he cut his fucking ear because we went down and I'm a heavy dude. and like
Yeah.
he went down and like it cut him. He was supposed to throw his helmet off, but it didn't work because I got like pissed off, and I was like, "Oh shit, you're really going for fuck you," you know. And his helmet was still on, but it's like, hey, that's realistic. And so that was a different battle, and that one was better because there wasn't all these fucking. I think that's what. Well, that might have been the first one that we did, and then people were like wanting to get in on the second one, but it wasn't filmed.
I'm surprised that no one was like, "Stop fucking shooting!" Like when they kept going.
Well, again, the crowd was right there.
Yeah.
I mean, right fucking there. And I didn't want to swear in front of them and like get all pissy and like create drama. But you
would have.
Well, you saw me. I was just like, I just put my pistol down. I was like, whatever. You know?
One of these situations. Well, and that's the thing, like, that's really kept me away from doing reenactments like that, is just because I don't want to deal with the fuckery of it all.
That's why I like doing living history a lot more. Because
like dressing up, going to events, teaching people what was like the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's fine. Like it's I mean, I like doing that because people, I guess people, they don't have to know about history. It's not a requirement.
Right.
But people who are like kind of curious, if you're like really good at presenting it and like you're also passionate about it and you're not like a condescending cunt.
Yeah.
Dude, people love it because then they start asking more questions. And you're like, well, I don't know that answer, but that's a good question. And you know, or I do know this, and here's how you know it was, and blah blah blah.
Of course.
And
it's a great it's a great feeling when you find people who like that sparks their interest, and you see them like, huh, you know, that's always great.
Well, even if they never act on it, which most people shouldn't, because history is a fucking cesspool of you know, it never ends. It never ends.
Oh no, it's an endless hole, dude.
it's a fucking disaster. But no, it's really cool to like see people like, because they're like able to relate to like their grandparents or their great grandparents or some shit like that in just a tiny way.
Right.
But then they go, okay, so here's probably what he would have dressed like, and it's like, yeah, you know, and you know, it's I love living history. Like, here's what they were eating. That's why I've said this so many times on the stream, but like I really want to get Ray to set up somewhere and like we just do a fucking very lengthy video on the World War I field kitchens.
I'd be really interested to see that.
Dude, Ray Pyrus, he it was so cool. I think I've told you this. Have I told you this on stream or it's just in person? Like
just in person, because we've talked about this before.
So well, maybe whatever. If I do it on another stream, fucking whatever. But like Ray has an entire World War I field kitchen.
Yep.
And he's a chef by trade. And then when we go to events, he feeds us all, and he cooks period correct recipes from this book that says, hey, if you got this ingredient, you got that ingredient, this is what you can make, blah, 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 blah. And cooks back then were very good at sourcing ingredients.
Finding the right stuff.
Yes. if you've got a garden, guess what? Sorry, we need it. Like, fucking A, thank you. But no, so it's like, you know, man, his food at events was so good. And like, that was one of the best, I think that was one of the best experiences I had as a reenactor or living historian is going through the chow line at Ray's chow tent.
Nice.
And he made goulash that day. It wasn't anything special or whatever. It was just like goulash and fucking some like canned green beans, which is fine. Like, but we were hungry, and dude, it was so good that he did that, and people were asking him constantly. Like, they're like, okay, and so he was bombarded with questions. They were asking us. They're like, so what is it? And we're like, yeah, this is how it would have been. And you know, we're eating out of our mess kits, you know, just like in front of them,
just like how you would have, yeah.
And they're like, wait, they had Oreos back then?
Yep, they did.
Yeah. 1888, man. 1888.
That's how
America's
far back
oldest
that goes.
cookie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, they had Oreos, they had Tabasco, they had ketchup. Yes, they did. Yes. Yeah.
Those products, man,
packaging.
they go back for a ways. That is funny. I was actually thinking about Oreos the other day with that, like how old they are, and like people don't realize how old that shit is. It goes way back.
Way back. It's 1888, I believe, is the. I could be wrong, but like
probably.
I believe it's that far back, and like we've had Oreos forever, rightfully so. They're fucking amazing.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Oh Christ. And but then he had Tabasco as well. And it's like that's even older than Oreos. That sauce is from like the 1860s. That shit came out.
Yeah.
And but Tabasco's amazing, by the way.
Yep.
And did I tell you that James bought myself and Don when he was at the Tabasco museum?
I think so. I remember seeing that in the
the little bottles.
Yep. Yeah, the little guys, yeah. My grandpa had some of those.
Well, yeah, I mean they came in fucking MREs and C-Rats, and like, dude, that was the only thing that made it fucking edible. you just throw Tabasco on whatever the hell slop shit that they feed you in those packets or cans,
right?
And it makes it more tolerable. But like Tabasco is a cool thing. But yeah, so anyway, the field kitchen, I'd love to just get a video of like having a bunch of us guys kind of get back together and like wear World War I shit, and then go through the line and like explain what's going on, because that he's probably got the best World War I U.S. field kitchen impression.
I'd be really interested to see that, because again, it's something that isn't widely known. It's not easy to look up something like that to see how it was done.
And nobody gives a shit about that. But I'm like, hey, without that, guess what? Your infantry guys that you all worship, they'd be fucking dead. They'd be starving.
It's pivotal stuff that actually happened. That should be. It's not arbitrary in any way. It really does need to be something that needs to be studied. So yeah, I would be super interested in seeing that.
Yeah, and Ray is probably, I mean, he was again my mentor, like for reenacting in general, but like it's, I don't think there's a guy that does German field kitchens in World War I, but like as far as US guys, I think Ray is probably the primo World War I historian on that.
That's the only guy who does it. Yeah.
I mean, other people probably do it. They just probably don't do it as well as he does.
Right.
Because I mean, he literally has everything that's period correct. Like, it was surreal as a reenactor, like going through the line.
Yeah.
And like everything is period correct, but it's still the same fucking thing, just different packaging, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, I know what that is. Tabasco, so you go, I want this. I want, salt packets, salt shakers and shit like that.
Right.
But and then it's food. Like his food was good, and he always made plenty of it. But yeah, that one time I was telling you, like it was raining really bad. So outside it sucked, just like it did in 1918 when it was like the rainiest fucking summer in French history.
Yeah, as it would be. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we were rotating through there, and the people, like, they wanted to get out of the fucking rain. The people that were like there that paid for it, and so they went underneath the chow tent and the the extension tent that he's got, and they were just sitting around. They're like, really? So this is how? Because they walk by his tent all the time.
Yeah. And
then when they were like, we just want to get out of the fucking rain, they were like, so this is you're actually serving food. And we came and we're like, excuse me, like we'd push him aside and be like, excuse me. And then like have our mess kits and shit. And he would like our canteen cups, he'd fill them up.
Yeah.
And then he had a cooking assistant as well. And just fill them up and be like, yeah, just like normally, like you would. Like we were just kind of playing that part. Yeah.
You're like, this is how we actually get fed here, guys.
Yeah, like I'm actually hungry. And you need to get the fuck out of my way. Thank you. But I'm going to be polite. Like, hey, excuse me, And so, Ray would be like, did you get your card stamped? Yes, we got our card stamped. Here's the card. Fuckity bye. And then, bam, goulash, the secondary dish. And then we go over to the cook assistants and we get like the bread and fucking whatever else. And then it's like, okay, we go to the condiment thing, which is like it's a very small table that's set up, and it's got like ketchup, mustard, Tabasco, salt, pepper, and then whatever else they could source, like Oreos. It's like dessert thing too. Like if they had Oreos, wow, that's lucky.
Yeah.
We got them from the YMCA or the fucking Red Cross or some shit. But like So we had that, and then we were going through there, and these people were like literally looking at us like it's like a flashback to time, like in time. Like they're like,
yeah. You're seeing the history actually, as it were.
because we were legitimately hungry as fuck. Like,
yeah, as they would have been in real life.
And so we just kind of pushed them. So we're like, "Excuse me," you know, and we're just going through, get our ticket punched or our card punched,
Right.
and then go through and do all that shit. And they're just like, "What is going?" Because they were like, well, a lot of them said they're like, "I never really thought about that before, like how they would serve food." And in the First World War, it's like it was really different than it is now. Like there were no rations.
No, but people have to eat just like people in real life. So it's like it's a quintessential thing that did happen.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, again, we were saying this. I think I said this the other night, but like the service coat that I have from the 32nd, from the unit that I was in later on.
Yep.
That guy was a mess sergeant, right? He was their company mess sergeant, and he had 2 wound stripes.
Oh, nice.
So they were up on the lines with the dudes.
So yeah, so he's seen some shit and done some shit.
Right, and like they were really, they tried, and it was funny because in World War One they tried to get these guys hot chow every time they fucking could.
Right, of course,
and,
yeah.
Like, because they're like, well, it's morale boosting, and we don't have rations, and our rations are just canned goods from home. They're heavy as shit, you know.
Right, yeah. No, I like a fucking, no matter what it is, like a hot meal, I can imagine would have been just like, fucking home cooking at that point.
Well, it is. It's a huge morale booster, and the U.S. like the fucking the cooks in World War One were amazing. They had balls. They were within 100 yards from the line. Like they were fucking there, taking artillery fire, taking gas, and still trying to provide hot cooked meals for the dudes. So that takes balls. Anywho, yeah, it's getting late.
It is getting late. Shit, yeah, it's like 9:30 where you are.
Yeah, we did 3.5 hours. I mean, I could still keep going because I have caffeine in me, but like,
I have hard seltzer in me.
Oh, so you're getting sleepy.
You notice my eyes are going down a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah, you're yawning more. Fucking Christ. You fucking, yeah, okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not a veteran drinker like some of you.
Yeah. But, no, it's all good. But, like, yeah, it does put you to sleep. Yeah. And then you don't get good sleep, and you wake up more tired than what you were previously.
And I got to be at the office at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Well, that doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
I show up here whenever I want, and then I just kind of don't do anything for a couple hours, and then I really it's like watching The Office again. Or I'm sorry. Office Space. Office Space.
Yeah, I just stare at my desk.
Well, we're looking at management material here.
That's just a straight shooter right there for upper management.
That's really how it goes too. Like if you just go, I don't do a fucking thing around here, they're like, well, let's promote you.
Yeah. That's what happens. My first hour at work, I just stare at my desk.
Yeah, you're like barely conscious, just like, well, this is my life now.
Yeah. Unfortunately. But hey, it's better than a lot of things.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, we're all good. So, what's the key word for people watching this ex post facto?
Ooh. Airway twinge.
Okay.
Air raid trench.
Oh God. That video was so fucking
Go ahead.
No, it was just so fucking bad. Like
I didn't think it was gonna go that far to like amusement park type shit towards the end, but yeah, it did.
Well, at least amusement parks are fucking fun.
Yeah,
and shit moves. You
just be suffering from cringe and secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah,
if you were there.
The two kids are doing the crappie flap from the fucking lights. Like you're like, okay, well, hopefully you're okay. Not my responsibility, but
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, it was great. We get to have a little Nate the Great towards the end there, though.
Yeah, well, fucking Nate should be on here in most of these, to be honest. But He's got responsibles.
Yeah, he's an adult, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm trying to be one.
Same here.
All right, guys. So Ailwade Twench is the keyword. If you're watching this Expos Affected, you got this far in this 3.5-hour stream. One of the worst I've ever seen.
And the last of 2024.
You say that now.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, he's got endless supplies of shit. We'll see what happens, but it was the last of his videos for 2024.
Yeah, because his tours are ending on Veterans Day with the
Veterans
Ailwade Quench.